Hello everybody, and welcome back to Tales on Tap, a place where good friends get together weekly to share stories about reuniting with good old friends, busting into a town that gives you the feel that they don't even want you there in the first place, and then hearing malicious voices coming, and noises should I say, coming from a stable. What the hell could that be?
Not what you think.
I hope that you are all doing well. Thank you so much everyone for joining us again this week. I feel like that music.
I'm glad you always make that mistake because I always forget to load up the music, and that's reminded me the last week.
So, welcome everyone.
Key whiff.
Yeah.
There you go.
No, my immersion.
No, ruined everything.
You mean you're not in a tavern?
I'm not in a tavern. I wish I
Wow.
was. You know what? I wish I was in a tavern. Like, I wish I was. The okayest GM, thank you so much for stopping in again. It's been a while. I hope you're okay. So guys, we're back. So just prior to us going live, I did remind the guys that we are round the corner, the end of the Fallen campaign. But fear not, brave adventurers! A new campaign is on the horizon.
But I do fear. I fear a lot.
It's gonna be
Do you
fine.
not know us?
We're gonna be okay. So we are at the end of campaign 1 in the next couple of weeks. It's drawing to a close, but that not mean that we're not gonna have fun along the way. So before we get into tonight's session, oh fuck it, I did that last week. Well, just
You
as I
did,
go into the
right at that
announcements,
same
like,
point.
I don't know what the hell. Gurgitating stuff in my bloody throat every time. I hope that you're all doing well, but as we say, before tonight, before we get into everything, we do have a few announcements, as always. So sit back and let us regale you with tales of our sponsors, which is Valkyrie RPG. If you haven't heard of them, what kind of rock have you been living under? Because every single week we tell you about them. So make sure you go and check them out this week. A website you need to go to is valkyrie-rpg.co.uk. What do they sell, you might ask? Well, glad you did, because they do sell the very best and greatest D&D dice and other D&D stuff. It's great. Go have a look, man. They do like dice trays and apparel and all sorts of kit. So go head over to Valkyrie RPG and check them out.
There's millions of things all under one roof. It's called Valkyrie RPG, Valkyrie RPG, Valkyrie RPG, Valkyrie RPG.
Legally distinct.
Yeah, definitely distinct. But use Tails 10 at checkout because that will give you 10% off store-wide purchases, and they are well worth purchasing. Some of the kit is incredible, so make sure you head over there and have a look.
Yeah, they've got a load of like new like handcrafted like dice like potions, like healing potions and stuff right now, and they look gorgeous.
Yeah. Also, they're all over Twitter. They've got Facebook, everything. Check them out on your local social media platform. And while you're there, check ours out as well, because we're also on all the platforms. All the links are downstairs. Make sure you go and check us out. Also, typically we upload the campaign videos once a week. Typically.
What do you remember?
So yeah, that's actually just gone live now. So if you want to just like open another browser and head over to YouTube and click view and like and subscribe and all those good things, that'd be very much appreciated. Also, we don't really expect anyone to subscribe while they're here. It is very, very gratefully received if so. However, it's not a necessity. Wish to subscribe though, please make sure you click that purple button down below. And we know that obviously money is a bit tight for everyone at the minute, so if you've got Amazon Prime, you can connect your Twitch account to your Amazon Prime to get 1 free subscription. Then you can do it for someone else's money, which is ideal. Also, again, with the rundown to this campaign, we are going to stick with this campaign next week, and then we're going to jump back into Spelljammer for a week, then wrap up the end of this campaign. So this is it, guys.
Yeah.
Would you say
final
that it's
stretch.
possibly the final countdown?
No, no.
Sweden's gonna sue us, you realise that?
Is that who owns that song?
Yeah.
Oh, there you are.
So, yeah, make sure you stick with us. The next 2 or 3 weeks are going to be key to the end of this campaign. And then, depending on how we are and push for time, because we do want to obviously kick campaign 2 off soon. We also have another couple of off.
Yeah, we do.
One shot, DM'd by Natalie. Then we have a 4-shot, DM'd by Dan, which is quite fun to run up to campaign 2. So make sure you stick around for that. Also, I think that's it, isn't it? Right? Is there no also? That is.
I think that's
Roll for
it.
notes, but apart from that, I think we're good.
Yeah. I think that's it for now. Cool. So, I need Natalie, Dan, and Evan to roll me a d20.
Oh shit!
I don't know if I'm.
For the first time,
Actually-
I think I've not prepared my dice.
Is it
It's the first.
a bonfire? A barbecue?
Investigate.
Is your
Okay.
house on fire?
I think you'd know that.
Well, I got 20, so I don't think I'm doing.
Oh, don't jinx it, because I got an
Yeah, I
18. You
know.
still have to do it.
Which one should we choose?
I
The
like
green
one.
one.
Yeah.
Green one.
Mm.
Okay. Let's try the green one.
I
18.
don't know what it is. 18
Okay.
for
That
you.
was a good choice.
Okay, Dan, what did you get?
It's me.
Okay. And what did you get?
13.
13. And Natalie, what did you get?
I got that 20.
20. Excellent.
Probably the only one of
Dan.
tonight, but
If you could possibly make some notes for us this week, we'll be recapping this week's session next week for us. That would be
Doing the recap.
marvelous.
Notes, I cannot promise.
Well, you can always watch it back on YouTube, which we upload to every week.
Shameless plug.
Mostly.
And if you subscribe, you can watch the VODs right here on Twitch immediately
true.
after the stream.
Yeah.
Add
Yeah.
that to your intro notes.
Chris, do you want to do the announcements like Sam Regal style campaign 2? Do you want to?
Keep thinking, no.
no, me doesn't want
Straight
that.
up, no.
Nice.
You
Okay.
have to do bits. You realize you have to do bits.
I'm not doing
No,
this.
we're not doing bits.
Costumes, the whole lot.
Oh,
Yeah.
costumes, yes.
Oh, yeah,
There's
yeah.
a cosplay
I
every
could just sell
time.
them. Maybe.
That would be fun. Okay, cool. Guys, should we play some D&D?
Let's go.
Yes, please.
Let's
Play some
go.
D&D. So, sit back. If you haven't already, go get yourselves a drink. Get yourselves comfortable as we are in for the long haul. Dive into tonight's episode of...
Whoop, whoop.
Woo!
Oh, it's good to have the old original back. A little dirtier than when I left it. There we go. So, we left the lodge and limped our way towards the village of Parnast, a place I've been meaning to visit for some time to sample the local vineyards. Circumstances being as they are, though, that will have to wait. We stopped for a time to recuperate, briefly, though many of us are still far from full strength. We took the time to catch up on things. I filled them in as best I could on what I'd learned during my mission, and they recounted their journey, Jove's newfound talent for diplomacy, and their new companion, the man named Stig, who they said united the armies and forces of Faerun, even the Zentrim, of all things. Ash also told us of her ordeal while captured. I knew they were up to no good with the prisoners down there, but what she described... I wish I could have done something. I should have done something. It is good she was able to speak about it with us, though. She seemed reserved before, even more so than usual. Any lesser person would have shattered under such torment, and maybe a part of her remains yet broken. But I assured her we would not let anyone into her mind unwanted again, and I gave her my ring of mind shielding, despite the inevitable frustration that it will cause later when she can ignore my telepathic messages on command, something I'm sure she'll use it for far more than anything else. Once we felt recuperated, we continued on to the village. If my assumptions are correct, we did not have much time to waste, and arriving at full strength would do us no good if we were to miss our opportunity completely. Parnast was off. We knew the cultist had a presence here, but nevertheless the whole place felt staged, watched. We didn't wish to tarry long, but thought it best to gain whatever intelligence about Skyreach Castle as we could, which loomed ominously over the city above a cliff top nearby. There was little to be seen in town, no shop, no town hall, little more than a brew house, a temple, some stables and basic dwellings, and an inn. No sign of anything immediately cultish, but the vibes were most certainly off. Ashar inspected the temple while the rest of us made our way to the inn, except for Banff, who was off somewhere, flagrantly disobeying my orders for discretion. She's lucky I've grown to adore her. Therein, we found a few common folk, mostly drunkards, quite suspiciously hospitable barkeep. Don't you dare, Dan. And a guard captain by the name of Othelstan. Not the talkative type. Even when offered a drink and showered with compliments, he left soon after we approached him. Perhaps I should have left that one to Jove. Michael later mentioned when trying to eavesdrop on his thoughts, there was nothing to be heard, and that unnerves me. As one villager rose to leave, he drunkenly bumped our table and dropped a note. It read little more than, well. Well, that wasn't just well.
What the fuck?
Ali and I headed out shortly after, despite the innkeeper's insistence that we stay put. I felt it would be best for her to speak to the individual, who now appeared much less impaired. He imparted on her what seemed to be a passphrase. Tiamat, our mother, our strength, just in case anyone didn't have that written down. While they conversed, I noticed an unsettling sound coming from the stable near which I stood. A bellowing, like a large creature resided within, perhaps multiple. It sounded familiar. I've heard dragons rest before, though Zayla's snores were a much higher pitch. As the rest of us joined in the square, we made the choice to leave quickly. We did not want to stay in Parnast any longer than we had to. Once we were safely outside of town, we began to review our options, and we came up with 3 possible plans. Plan A, to disguise ourselves using the cultist uniforms we had acquired. Plan B, to sneak into the castle unseen before it took flight. And Plan C, release whatever was in the stable, potentially dragons, in hope that it would cause some kind of distraction and we would be able to slip in a little easier. That wasn't the favored plan, at least at first. It was at this point that it dawned upon us. Whatever was in those stables were most likely used to transport the goods from Parnast up the steep cliff to the castle. They could be our way in, though we would have to return to Parnast. At that time, there was a crack that rang through the valley. Skyreach Castle took flight, along with most of the mountain on which it sat.
Very good.
Nice. Good job.
Really, really good, mate.
Nice.
Very good.
Sorry if I missed anything. I wrote that just now.
No, I don't think you did. You got the cool
Very good
bit.
for
Yeah,
last
yeah.
minute. Look.
All good. Where we pick up? Where we left? You guys, about 15 minutes walk away from Parnas, near one of the local farms, on the outskirts of one of the many wooded areas close by. The crack and rumble of Skyreach Castle departing its current location rumbles the ground beneath your feet. You all feel and hear rubble and pebbles kind of jostle along the surface of the ground you stand on. You all look up. Castle. But looking at each other, knowing full well what is about to happen. Castle itself wastes no time departing. It is moments you have before this thing is out of sight.
How fast is that thing moving?
Yeah, how fast?
It's not going at a rate of knots, but it is moving. It was already substantially high up anyway, and when it cracks and starts rising up, it's going to be minutes before it's in the cloud and out of sight.
Right.
Knowing
I need
this,
to get that fucking dragon.
we all turn to look at each other.
Does anyone have a way to keep track of it?
Keep
No,
track of a castle?
not really. My eyes?
I don't think we need to keep track of it if we move fast enough. I think let's go.
Okay, let's go.
Where?
Back to Parnast.
For
Whatever is in those stables is potentially our only way to reach the castle now. It sounded draconic, and I can only assume they were using whatever was in there to transport things up that cliff. No carriage would have been able to make that journey.
Okay, you were the one inside. Fine, let's go.
Right.
Before we leave, this may be a good time to have the mask to hand, unless we think we should keep it under wraps for now.
Keep it under wraps.
We know
I think
Yeah, I don't
we
think
can use it if it comes to it, but up until then, better not taking the risks.
Yeah.
Very well. We should move quickly.
Okay, so you all start racing back to Parnast, yeah?
Yeah.
I need athletics checks from all of you, please.
We didn't. The short rest didn't give us our new level stuff, did it?
Nope.
Hey, you know how running fast's my thing?
Yeah?
Do I have to still do it?
Everyone starts to do it. Okay, Clovis, what did you get?
I got a 2 for a 1. So it's not a natural one,
Yeah, that's fine.
but it's a 1.
It's a 1. Okay, Jove?
24.
24. Michael?
Pick me up.
13.
13. Asha?
16.
16. Hallie?
17.
17. Okay. I also
Damn it,
need-
Clovis!
I forgot to roll for... No, because she is not lead side at all.
Good.
Uh, Oh, nice. We've got a viewer in that is new to D&D. Mermaid
Oh,
Magic
hello.
is brand new
Hello.
to D&D. Welcome, welcome,
You should
welcome.
definitely come back for campaign 2.
Yeah, we're starting at level 1. That's
That'll be
doesn't
really
mean
good.
go away now.
Don't run away.
Stick around.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
we will be
but
starting from scratch.
So Quinn rolled an 11. So collectively,
It's just Clovis.
Clovis,
Upside down.
you prance as best
I'm still
you
hobbling a
can,
bit.
flailing your little arms as you run. But people tend to set off at speed, almost quicker than you kind of thought they would, despite the grave nature of the threat that is kind of in front of you. You're like, let's go, and they were like, okay, and you were like, oh, fuck. And you just start like jogging, and you're kind of at the back as everyone else is kind of like keeping pace. Jove, you, given your proclivity for how quick you are, and Ash, you pretty much are level pegging at the front, because Jove is just using his sheer strength to just like, and you hear like the ground beneath Jove's feet like go as he just
Fuck yeah.
bounding forward.
Like a kaiju.
Has
Like a
everyone
kaiju.
has seen the critical the Legend of Vox Machina, right? The fight
Yeah.
with the blue dragon. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
I imagine the Grog
Yeah.
run. That's basically
Doing the
Jove
Hulk,
right
doing the
now.
Incredible
Yeah,
Hulk run, just bounding.
Okay. It will take you at this speed with this collective athletics roll roughly around 5 to 10 minutes to rush back. You all start getting to the outskirts of Parnas, racing back. I'd like somebody, in fact, either Jove or Ash, make me a perception check being at the front, please.
Go for it.
I'm good at those, you do it.
I'm alright at them, but I feel like Joe's better.
I mean, it's wisdom based. That's more your bag than mine.
Alright, fine. Oh my god, my dice exploded. It didn't explode, it just moved.
I was just
That's
about
got
to
to be a
say
20 then, surely.
No. It is, however, a natural 19 for a 22.
Hey, with a 22 perception check, you see that as you are getting to the edge of the town of Parnas, you see that there is a couple of individuals, guards, that are kind of like looking down the road in your direction as you start racing up towards the town.
So they've clocked. Well, obviously, because Jove isn't exactly the most subtle thing. They've seen us running. Do they look like they're moving to alert further people, or are they?
They're
just
currently
kind of...
just stood at the moment, just staring at you, watching as you are racing. You are roughly around 500 feet, a good distance away from the actual town itself, but they're kind of like on the edge, just peering and looking over.
Okay. I was going to suggest that as we get closer to the village, that we attempt to hide or slow down so we can stealth as quickly as possible through and in.
Okay.
So they don't know our final destination. If they see a bunch of people just going for a really big run, okay. But I think as we approach, that's when I want to kind of gesture to Jove to try and like keep stealthy, keep as fast as possible, and then creep round.
Okay, so
But I will nod to, and I'll just go.
Okay.
They clocked us over there. As we're.
Yeah. So they see you, kind of not making the veer off the path and off towards the right.
Mm-hmm.
Do you all follow?
Do you let us know that there are guards watching us?
It depends how far behind you are. I tell Jove for sure because he's right there.
I mean, you see that Ash says something. You're not too far behind. I mean, Clovis,
Yeah.
you'd probably make anything out.
I'll just like point as I'm running. I'll point to where they are.
But you do see that they veer off the road to the right.
Harley, not wanting to split up, will go towards them, and if she sees that they are making a conscious effort to be sneaky, like if I suddenly see Joe duck down, then I will also try and stealth it too.
Okay.
Fast paced, I'm not slowing down.
Okay. So, Ash, you said that you were going to move stealthily. Jove, are you reciprocating that stealth as well? Are you kind of ducking down and trying to stay out of sight, or what are you doing?
I mean, stealth for Jove is very much just slightly ducking down in the run, so I will veer off to the right, but he's very much just sort of running slightly closer to the ground.
Okay. Then I'll have a stealth check from you, Ash, and a stealth check from you, Hallie. I will have a stealth check as well from you, Joe, but it will be at disadvantage given that description. Michael, you
Always
see...
is.
Oh, well, if it's already, then that's fine.
Yeah.
Double disadvantage. Don't roll. Fuck it. Not stealthy.
Cool.
No, Michael and Clovis and Quinn also try to be stealthy. With a dirty 20. You see that she just kind of like ducks down and just like veers off before where you guys did and just kind of like behind a bush and starts trailing off to the right. Clovis and Michael, what are you doing?
When we look at the now clocking the guards,
Make me a perception check because they are some distance away.
21 for my stealth, by the way.
16.
12 for me. So go.
Sorry, what was that, Michael?
16.
16. You see that they start, and Clovis, you'll have clocked this as probably will have clocked, because you're not that far behind, Michael. You'll see that they are starting a couple of paces walking towards where you are.
I'm gonna make my sword disappear
Mhm.
and just say to Clovis, follow my lead. And I'm gonna run up, absolutely fucking hysterical, and go, Albert! Albert! And just point into the woods. Like
Why
I'm
did no one warn us?
terrified of a bunch of
Why did no
fucking
one warn us
owlbears
that these
coming
roads
towards
were
us.
so unsafe?
Yes!
Make me a
Yes!
deception check with this with advantage. Can have it with advantage because that was fucking ace.
That was amazing.
19.
Yes!
Nice.
Wait. What, Ed, I'm proficient in deception, or no?
think so.
Yes, I am. 27.
Let's go!
27. Sick. Okay, I'll come back to you in a second. Hallie, with your 12, you managed to duck behind, and like you are kind of a few paces back, but you do veer off. And as you kind of do, hear a noise to your right hand side.
Mm-hmm.
And as you kind of like look over to the right, you see Quinn emerge from another bush with Banff right next to her. As she kind of like is keeping low, but has slowed her pace down considerably now, knowing that she is on the outskirts of this town. She's kind of like now in full like fight or flight mode. Very much just right mission time. Clovis and Michael, you kind of start rushing up, and two guards kind of like look at each other. One unsheaths a sword and goes, "Oh, no." And you see that they're just kind of like looking at each other for what to do.
Just fucking stand there, they're coming!
We'll go alert the others. You hold it back, and I'll run past him.
Yeah, same.
You see that they both kind of like, "Ugh. I'll stay here, you get the rest." And one of them stays, another one not chases you, but follows you into the town.
He'll never survive on his own. We'll get the others. Don't worry about us.
Make me a persuasion check.
Would you say that I'm acting as a different person right now?
It's not going to be deception, it's going to be a persuasion check, please.
Doesn't matter. I have the actor feat.
Well then, you roll a persuasion, please.
Okay, cool. That's fine. I've got good persuasion, so that should be good. Oh, +9. That's a 19.
Nice. Okay, he kind of like slows down and he's kind of like looking back, looking towards you as you guys are keeping pace into what? And kind of like stops in his tracks a bit and he's kind of going. But you manage to get past him and start getting into towards the center. So as you kind of like run past, you get feet away is the shrine.
Can I use the DeVito family ring to quickly message Quinn and say, make a distraction that's owlbear shaped?
Hey?
Does she have? Well, would I? She has minor illusion, right?
Yeah, but minor illusion.
Okay, there we go.
I don't know if minor illusion is going to be able to create.
It's not small. It's just far away.
He obviously gets the message and goes, "I don't think we need to be wasting time with trivial distractions. Get to where we need to go quickly."
What do you think we're doing?
You
He
guys
says
on the
recklessly.
right. So, Hallie, Jove, Ash, you hear Quinn say this out loud, and she just kind of looks and goes, "Well, what now?"
I'm gonna try and guide them towards the back of the stable area. So keep going round and go towards the back of the stables, because that was on the edge of the town, wasn't it? It's like the shrine, the stables. I can't remember
It
the
would
layout.
probably be better if I just shout you.
That would be nice. Thank you.
We appreciate
Shrine,
that.
stables, foundry, or brewery.
Yeah, so
the,
we'd be coming from like here, and I want to kind of try and as soon as possible get to here.
You didn't get to here. You kind of went this way. You guys are coming
so
around.
this is where the guys were.
Yeah. So Clovis and Michael, you guys headed down. Oh, you guys came from.
Mm.
And Clovis and Michael are heading literally to the side of the stables here.
Okay.
You guys veered off this way and are currently around here roughly.
All right, in which case I will loop us back round against the edge of this building and just take a look to see if the path's clear and then make a full sprint over to the other side of the stable.
Hey.
And you said that we were where, DM?
You're roughly here. As you ran past the guards, were literally here.
Yeah.
And you ran past them. The other guy stopped about here as you are now rushing past down here.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to sort the camera. Ask me that question, so people were just staring at half of your face, Evan. That was nice.
Sorry.
You're all good. So yeah, Ash, Jove, Ali, Banff, and Quinn, you guys rush round here. You don't see any other guards at this point, but stop at this corner and look down here. You don't see anybody that way, but as you kind of round this corner to roughly around here, see that there is a assortment of guards here that are walking your direction.
Okay, in which case, going to continue down this path and go on the other side. Just
Okay, so
keep out of.
You're going here, so is that where you're going?
Keep going to go round and just try and basically follow. If I see at this point Clovis and Michael sprinting this way, I'm going to sprint to rejoin them on this side.
Okay, what are the rest of you doing at this point?
I'm just following Ash. So.
Following.
Okay, so you all make it edge of the stable. You hear inside the rough breath and noise of a very deep and from outside.
Are there any... So the windows are shuttered?
Yes. Windows are shuttered and the door seems to be barred at the moment.
There's no door on the back?
No door on the back. You see that there's a shuttered window here and one door here. Doesn't seem to be barred from the inside, it seems barred from the outside. You get to it and it's kind of it's a big thick oaken door, but it has a bar been set across.
On the inside or the outside of the bar?
You can see the bar on the outside.
We can see the bar.
Literally. Poof. Well, yeah, because you can deduce that it's there. Stop whatever's in there getting out.
Getting out.
So
yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
So people aren't really bothered about people going in there from what it looks like.
Cool. All right. I kind of look to Jove and gesture.
Yeah.
Hey.
You're up, big man.
Yeah, that makes sense. Fine. Yep, gonna heave that bar off, see if I can.
Okay. Make me an athletics check, please.
Guidance.
Make me a guided athletics check, please.
I remembered.
Cleric stuff.
Can I slap him on the side of the face to make him rage? No.
No. That does not work like that, I'm afraid.
I choose if I rage. I am my own orc. 23.
Whoop, whoop.
Hey, you... And you hear it crack a little bit as it from the sides as you lift this wooden beam up.
You just see Jove stood with it by the door, looking very impressed with himself. Just, that wasn't so hard. Look at this.
Bench presses.
Spinning it around like. Woof.
All right.
Okay.
If anyone goes to go in, Clovis will grab their hand as they go to open the door and say, "Let me go first. I may be able to communicate with them." Actually, I think a couple of you can do that, can't you, actually? Never mind.
I mean, I can't communicate with them, but I might be able to charm them. Just in case. That's something I can do.
Well, if that villager overheard what he told us, then there's a good chance it was used here. So remember that phrase.
Right.
Right, yeah.
Give a mother house strength.
Yes.
Okay. So, Clovis, you're going in.
Yeah, I'll step in.
Creak the door open and kind of like half shuffle around. In front of you in this huge stable, you see that it has been makeshifted to house 3 large-size wyverns,
Oh,
all of which go in your direction.
I will just sort of maintain flicking my eye contact between 3 of them, step slowly into the center of the stable, and then turn to all of them. And sort of as they begin encroaching on me,
They just kind of like creep forward and they're like extend their
Jurassic
heads.
World.
just trying to make it
So-
badass.
Where you're stood currently, there is a barrier between. I mean, it's wooden. If they really wanted to, it's a wooden little kind of like makeshift fence that they've kind of put across, and all 3 of their heads just kind of like peer over it and start like coming down towards you. They're a fair. As you're stood back, it's a fair like 10 feet away, but they're kind of like reaching towards you and just kind of like.
Okay. Then as they do, I'll look up at them and I'll say, in Draconic, Tiamat, our mother, our strength. And I'll close my eyes and then open them again, looking up at them with slitted pupils.
You see that the reaction unyielding. They still just kind of like one of them kind of turns away and starts just kind of meandering back towards the side, back towards the back of the stable, and just kind of like lies down. The other 2 just kind of like stay where they are and just kind of just staring.
You will take us to Skyreach Castle, still in Draconic. Oh.
Oh, I should have done this.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be dragons, not wyverns.
Yeah.
And dragons can talk. I don't think wyverns can. Okay. Oh, it's not bad. 16 plus 2, 18?
18. Yeah, that's the check. As they just kind of like they turn and just kind of like drop down in their stance. Make me a perception check, please.
Perception to 14.
14. You see that off to your left on some racking on the back wall, you see what appear to be 3 large wyvern saddles and bridles.
Oh, of course there's fucking saddles for these things.
But they don't seem to be acting aggressively towards you. But what do you want to do now, Clovis?
I'll send a message to Jove. And I'll say, I think it's safe to enter. There's a few little friends in here, but they seem amiable for now.
Well, Jove hears that, turns over and goes, there's friends in there, and I think one of them's called Amy, I'm not sure, but I think we're fine.
Okay,
And just walks in.
that's good.
Okay.
I'll follow Jove.
Harry's gonna turn to Ash. Do we know anyone called Amy?
Quinn walks past and goes, I wouldn't put it past him. And just like goes in the stables.
That's my girl.
And as you all step in, Quinn is by the door, and as you do step in, he kind of closes the door and turns and goes, well, we best make this quick. Won't be long before one of them walks past and sees this has been unbarred.
Not only that, but I mean, they probably won't fit through the door we came through. We'll have to open the front. Unless, and I'll look up to the ceiling, see if there looks
just
like
look it up as well.
any mechanism to open the roof. Thunderbird
You
style.
do see at the front there is 2 large double doors, but as you kind of look, you see that There is nothing stopping it from opening on the inside, but it is, however, barred.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna take a quick look around. Do I see the saddles?
You do?
Right. I mean, I can try and use one of those if you want.
Saddling a dragon should be as easy as saddling a horse, right?
No.
Sure. Someone that's never saddled a dragon, as she just then kind of goes off to try and saddle up these
Okay.
wyverns.
Pick a saddle up and start walking towards the fence. One of them kind of like looks towards you and snarls a little bit. Doesn't approach the fence though, but you need to kind of like walk into the pen where they are. Are you doing that?
Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm kind of like, I've kind of got my hands where they can see them, and I'm trying to move like.
How are you
with
holding the saddle?
purpose, But... Oh, yeah, sorry.
Just
Sake.
curious, man. Like, no. Like, it could still work if it's balancing somewhere. Like, I
No,
just need to-
you're right. I'm holding it, but I'm holding it up and I'm smiling and I'm kind of talking in a sort of a calm voice. Okay, girl. All right, let's see if we can do this. And,
Okay.
you know, just trying to be calm with the animals. Okay. And.
I'm gonna grab a
Nice.
saddle too.
You're grabbing a
That's-
saddle as well.
24.
Oh.
Hey. The calming and soothing, like, tone to your voice kind of... The wyvern comes over and, like, throws its head to stop you from walking towards it and just kind of... side as it, like, understands what is happening as you kind of, like, throw the saddle over and begin, like... And it kind of, like, raises itself up a little bit so you can get the straps underneath and, like... Like putting the straps on, but it'll take you a minute or so to do that. When at this point is kind of like at back again. On.
As I'm doing it, I'm gonna give a few neck strokes, just saying, good girl, you know, I'm just trying to really reassure the animal as I'm doing it, but I am trying to do it as fast as I can.
Okay, Michael, you say that you're picking up a saddle as well.
Yep.
Okay. You do so.
And I'll just walk in towards one of the other wyverns.
Okay.
Alright, shall we get this on you? I say in Draconic.
Okay, make me an animal handling check, please.
Oh god.
Just a perception way, do these saddles look they can carry more than one person, or is this like a one-person saddle? What does this look
The
like?
one-person saddle, but
Right.
wyvern size of them looks like if placed strategically, all of you could possibly fit.
Okay,
But there is
one rider.
7 of you.
Right.
Well, there's 7 of you, and you could possibly fly 6.
Uh-huh.
One
Right.
needs to go in the arms. Or in the
Okay.
legs, rather.
Michael, what did you roll?
1. Oh, I rolled a 2, but -1, so 1.
Why are you doing this?
Okay. Anybody else taking a
Um,
saddle?
No, so Ash has never saddled a horse, let alone a dragon, and is completely useless here. And so is kind of looking at where Quinn is against the main double doors, and is going to sneak out to try and deal with the bar on the other side.
As you
Joe's
approach,
going to follow doing that
Yeah.
because he's not going to be any good at dragons either.
as
No, I
you
will begin
approach
saddling
Quinn,
the other.
okay.
Yeah.
As you two approach Quinn, she just puts her hand up towards you and goes, "I've got this. Get yourselves ready."
Okay. I will guide her, just in case she's doing something that needs guidance. And then I'm gonna give a potion of diminution to Jove.
Okay.
Oh,
So
what?
when I say there's 7 of you, there's 6 of you plus Amp.
Who can just teleport?
No, she can only teleport like 40 feet.
40 feet.
Okay.
So that's the moral thing that you've got to kind of
Okay,
think about
well-
now is what you're going to be doing. So
Double
Clovis, you pick up the other saddle and make your way in, pretty much kind of coinciding. Michael picks his up. All happening at the same time. They all kind of like walking in together. What do you do as you approach the furthest wyvern away? He seems to be the most like malleable at this point. Isn't really paying much attention to you guys.
Okay. I'll just be quietly whispering the word calm in Draconic as I approach.
Okay, animal handling check from you as well, then, please.
Moo. Right, how many sorcery points have I got left?
Can I just have a show of hands who's got inspo, by the way?
Me, apparently.
Um.
Damn it.
Yeah, I have
Trust
it.
me, I would have used it.
I got an 8.
I
Okay.
think Ash used hers last session.
Do I not get anything for having... Oh, bollocks, whatever.
You have
Okay.
inspiration.
That's true. Do I want to use it now?
Fucking use it, dude.
Alright, yeah, I'll use my inspiration. I'll use my inspiration because I don't have any sorcery points left to re-roll it. So
Okay. I'm just going to.
okay, cool. Well, I mean, it's still a 14.
And did you say Ash used hers as well?
I think Ash used hers last session. I still have it.
Okay, Jove, you do have it on my screen.
Oh, do
Yeah,
I?
from
yeah,
the Von Meer fight.
Yeah, Von Meer fight.
Oh, then I still have it.
What did you roll? Sorry, Chris. Clovis.
14 with inspiration.
14 will pass. 8 would not have done. You kind of go over to the malleable one, and it kind of like just understands what's happening and just kind of like stands up a little bit, and you start buckling it up. Michael, with your 1, as you kind of like walk up, the wyvern does not react well and just and gnarls at you. You drop the saddle back against the fence. The saddle now underneath this thing's body as it kind of like is gnarling towards you. Does anybody, Ali, you'll see this. Ash and Jovi will also see this happening. Is there anything anybody wants to do?
Has Hanley finished buckling the one that she's already done?
No.
Okay.
You and Clovis are still putting saddles on.
In which case, I will go up, and I will spend a key point to bamf into my astral form. I'll place a hand on the other side of the dragon, kind of shifting its attention from Michael, and in its head, I will just go, kneel.
Are you casting a thing, or is this just you?
Intimidating.
With my
Trying to-
champion's form, I can speak to creatures through their head. So I'm just commanding it, and I'm just saying, kneel.
Make me a general persuasion check.
Not intimidation?
You no.
Got me through.
Were you trying to be intimidating?
Yeah. I'm bamfed out. I've got my astral form, and I'm speaking into its mind. I'm just going, kneel.
Oh, I didn't get the aggression behind the way that you said kneel. I apologize.
I
Well, I didn't get
had a
that
bit of chocolate
impression.
stuck in my throat.
Yeah. I didn't get. That's why I didn't get that impression. Roll me an intimidation then.
Okay, cool.
You can have it with advantage.
I get it in my form as well.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. I'm trying to figure out if I can use anything else instead of. Let me see. Just get advantage. Cool. Okay, that's a 13.
13. Okay.
Yeah.
The wyvern, as you kind of like place the hand on, looks down towards you, snarling, and then as you kind of go kneel, kind of like looks at you as you say it, wide-eyed a little bit, and its kind of neck cracks a little bit, and you feel like wind kind of circulating as Zayla has flown off Jove's shoulders above Ash and is flapping.
So,
And it seems like Zayla is also communicating with this creature as it kind of looks towards you. Towards Zayla and back to you. And it then...
I don't think this thing likes Desertus very much. And Michael's just gonna back away a little bit.
put it in your head. You hear, put it on now.
Alright, shit. You don't need to treat me like a dragon. Michael's just
Apparently she
start
does.
putting it.
Okay. After a minute or so, Ash, Michael, Hallie, and Clovis, you are putting these saddles on and fastening them up. Jove, what are you doing at this point?
I'm waiting, I guess. I mean, everyone seems to be doing their own thing. Quinn says she's got the door, so...
Well, I've given you a potion of diminution. Either you take it or Bamf takes it. It's up to you to decide. But I've given you a potion and said it makes you smaller.
I mean, Jove doesn't want to take anything that makes him smaller, so... He's going to look at just... sort of look down at Bamf, because he's never really communicated with the dog that much. He's never really cared. So he just sort of looks at us and goes, open wide.
Bamf kind of like looks at you wide-eyed, like, no. Doesn't say anything, but just kind of like is looking at you
It's just
strange.
Jove and a dog staring down at each other, going, "Well, one of us is drinking this, so which one?"
We can do this the easy way or the hard way, love.
Bamf's ears kind of like go back. Her tail tucks a little bit as she sits down, kind of like lifts her head up towards you, and very slowly, as if like taking a treat out of your hand, just like opens her mouth. You can see that she's not wanting to do this though.
He like watching as she reluctantly drinks. Is like, I mean, I would have wrapped it in meat if I had any. I'm sorry, I don't know what else I'm supposed to do.
Okay. As you pour the potion of diminution down Bamf's throat, as you her form just start to, as she becomes puppy-sized.
She is puppy-sized for 2 hours. I rolled the
For
d4.
2 hours?
I rolled the d4.
2 hours of micro Bamf?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Buff becomes a corgi.
Still
Bamf.
puppy.
Flower.
You pick, Jove, you just
Jove
pick
just puts his hand around like her middle and just looks at Ash, goes, "Small now."
Bamf, look at you.
You see that her, like, she's just like fuming, like her ears are drooped, her tail's just kind of like, but she look. However, all managed to fit the saddles. Who's going on what, and who's driving, and who's a passenger at this point?
I'm going to climb up as soon as I've finished saddling up the one that I was saddling up. I'm going to just immediately climb up. If I see the small Bamf situation, Puppy Bamf, I'm going to say, do you think Zayla can carry something that small? I'm sure she can. She's a big girl.
Can you carry something this size?
I don't know. I've never actually tried. We could try, though I don't think.
I mean,
she
try
looks
now, just
particularly
while we're in here. Let's not, just grab and...
You see, even Zayla's a little bit reluctant. This poor puppy, man. But she kind of like wraps her talons around Bamf and just kind of like starts to like flap her wings a little bit. And as you kind of like let go of Bamf, you see that Zayla's height drops a little bit, but she training is keeping aloft.
I don't think that's a good idea. Give it back. And he just sort of takes the dog. It's like, "Clovis, here's your dog. Put it in your purse or something."
Come here,
I don't
girl.
know.
Come here, girl.
You see that Bamf just is just like not excited as you are. It's just like floppily like wandering over, gets to you and just kind of like looks like,
Come on, I'll tap my shoulder. Come on.
kind of like reluctantly bumps, but not onto your shoulder, into
Is
your,
it like
into your yeah, literally like a
Oh!
and like
That is the
reappears
cutest
like
ever.
poof, poof, into your arms.
I'll reach out a hand to Quinn to hop on the back.
Yeah, I'm gonna hop up onto the one that Michael's just saddled. I'm gonna reach down a hand to him and like, you're with me.
Right.
I
I
guess
get
that
up.
means, Joe, if you're with me, I think you can fit.
Well, we'll have to unbar the door from the outside, so...
I've got it. As Quinn starts walking towards, like, is still stood by the door and just goes, "Are you ready?
Ready
any
as
of
we
you
ever
ever
can be.
Done this before?" Probably
Have we
a
fought?
question for a
No.
different time. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Are you ready? And she kind of like talks to the wyvern.
Quinn steps out the door that you just came into
God, what is
And
that
round.
girl doing?
to the front of the barn.
Okay, let's go.
She does not open the door immediately, though, as you hear the door as the bar begins to move, and you all hear shouting from outside of the stable.
Hey, come on, come on.
Clovis, in your head, you hear, "You guys are going to do this. Let's go." The strain in Quinn's voice as bar itself on the front comes free and hits the ground. Not that any of you see that. And the doors.
I'll say back to her, stand back and reach out to me.
Doors swing open. What are you doing?
Yeah!
Clenching my thighs and going, yeah!
Okay, I need an animal handling check from Ash, Hallie, and Clovis,
Guiding
please.
myself.
Do I have guidance? Just checking. Nope. Okay. Okay, nice.
Okay. Dirty 20
Hey,
with the guidance.
okay.
Animal handling plus 5. That's a 23.
23,
13.
13. With a kick in, like, with the stirrups into the side, the wyverns kind of and just start with their wings furled currently as they breach out through the door, unfurl their wings. Who's going first?
I assume Clovis to get Quinn.
Clovis is at the back of the thing, so it's between you and Hallie.
Oh,
Okay, I'll go first. That's fine.
As
As we start moving forward, I will move Jove's hand and put it round me to hold on because I know he's not like all touchy. So I'm like, just like, hold on as we
I don't
charge
consent to
forward.
this. Stop.
Okay.
Fine,
As
fucking
you
fall.
break through the door and the wings unfurl, you are greeted by a line of around 15 or 20 guards racing toward your direction as you start taking flight on the wyvern up. Ash, you are next out the door, and as you do, you see that the guards are 10 feet as you hit the first two that come running as the wyvern takes flight into the sky. Clovis,
Where's Quinn?
yeah. Where is Quinn?
Gwen is by the door looking as you guys...
I am going to
Takes a
cast
step back.
Levitate as I go out. I'm going to cast Levitate on Quinn to raise her up so that Clovis can hopefully easier drag her.
You... As she just starts, like, lifting up from the ground, you turn and concentrate on that spell as she's rising up. Clovis, you race out and see Quinn in midair with her arm reach out to yours.
I'll lean over as much as I can while holding onto the reins and try and grab her hand.
I need you to make me... This is going to be dexterity based. Right, more than strength.
Okay, man. That's funnily enough, that's a relief.
I'm going to ask you for an acrobatics check.
Ooh.
Am I
Okay, well, that's
helping
just
at all,
raw
or is
dice.
this kind of helping the position?
You are helping the position, so it's not with disadvantage, which
Okay.
it would have been with
Right,
him
cool.
racing past. So you are definitely helping with Quinn being levitated up. I believe levitate you can't.
No, I can't direct
It's
her.
just
No. Yeah, I
starts
just want her
raising.
out of the way of the guards. Yeah.
I got an 11.
And is also needs to as you reach your hands brush ever so slightly as her fingertips break from
How-
yours.
How far away am I?
Second. And as they do, she launches herself from her current position and just grasps onto your forearm.
Yank her around, holding onto her hand over my shoulder.
You manage to grab hold of Quinn. And
I'll
as
shoot
you
her middle finger up to the people that are flying away from.
as you take flight into the sky, the castle itself is now out sight in the clouds. But you are picking up speed, all of you, grabbing hold of the reins and each other as these wyverns. Let's. Let's do this the fun way.
Fun for who, Dan? Fun for who?
Okay. Ash,
Yeah.
you are number 3.
Okay.
Ali, you are number 2. Clovis, you're number 1. I'm going to roll a d4. If it
I
rolls
reject
on,
this.
if it's a 4, I re-roll.
Okay.
It was a 1. As you are, and you grab Quinn and you start setting off, what seemed to be the most malleable of wyverns hears the calling from below and starts to crash a little. Guy, I need you to make me another animal handling check, please.
Jesus Christ.
What are the words?
Yeah, as it starts to thrash, can I say, Tiamat, our mother, our strength, remember, in Draconic.
Okay. Animal handling check, please.
I
With
stopped doing
advantage.
anything. Hey!
We got the cheat code, bitch.
Up, down, left,
Ooh.
right, square, triangle.
Yeah. First one's good. Second one's real bad. So that's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20, and it kind of and it stabilizes mid-flight as you continue to gain speed together. You all start making your way higher. Now, I'm going to do this again,
Oh god.
but this time,
Before
Yeah,
we do,
go
can
on.
I ask a quick question?
yes.
Do the wyverns appear to be veering in any particular direction, or are they purely following our...
At the moment, they're following your direction. They are staying true to where you're leading them. This is what this is all about. This is a skill challenge section. So, Ash, do you like odds or evens?
Odds.
Odds, which means, Hallie, you get evens.
Okay.
You go again!
Here we go again!
Evens.
Okay.
Right,
You are now around 800 feet off the ground, flying at
Mhm.
a bird
Oh.
flies in front, and your wyvern,
straight through the engine.
without you even trying, you try and drag the rein, it forces your arm forward and it veers off to the starts diving for this and it is whirling, and you are trying to maintain control. I need you to make me another animal handling check, please.
21.
21. And as it snaps towards the bird in front of it, you yank back on the reins and its head veers away from it. And then, understandably, you feel that the air of control as the tension like releases from it as you kind of veer it back up towards the group, and as it you are now around 50 to 100 feet lower behind Clovis and Ash, Jove, Michael, and Quinn as they are veering up as you start flying back up their direction.
Jove's on my one.
Yes.
Yeah.
You, Clovis, and Ash managed to start breaching into cloud. Your vision is impaired at this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ash,
Yes, hello.
being the only one left to try and make this happen, as you reach into the clouds, the wyvern itself stops and flings its wings forward, almost bringing you to a halt as you feel the speed of your wyvern as Clovis and Quinn shoot past, and just as your wyvern begins to stop and flap and start to panic in the clouds, not knowing, Ali and Jove shoot past you. You need to try and get this thing back under control. Roll me an animal handling check.
Okay.
Please.
Guidance.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, it's plus 3. 15.
15. You manage to calm it, and just every time it's like flapping, like slowing down, you're kicking, and you just kind of like realize, okay, at this point it's panicking, so you kind of like reach forward and put a hand on its neck and just kind of like, okay, it's okay, come on, be all right.
It's good, Ash.
Good, right? Kind of a Scottish.
Scottish.
Yes, Ash.
And it calms down to where it's like wings are not like panic flapping, they just kind of get calm as you then kind of like go, come on. And it just kind of like, oof. And you feel, Michael, the speed in which this thing goes, oof, the power becomes like very apparent as this thing oof, shoots up and darts. I need you to make me an athletics check, please, Michael.
Yep.
You best be grabbing the fuck on, mate.
As the sheer force of this thing fumble back, roll back on the body of the wyvern, reach out one hand and grab hold of the saddle as you are being dragged up. I need you to make me an athletics check.
7.
Cock.
And as the second wings, you rip
And
Oh,
Misty
and just
Step.
Oh, nice.
fall back. You wait, because as you fall back, tail knocks you and you start to spin, and you just kind of like focus yourself ever so as you spin in the air till find that last rotation, that rhythm in the rotation to literally be the wyvern to go a misty step and misty step back onto the back of the wyvern and just grab both arms around Ash. As Ash, you feel Michael just kind of behind. You don't even notice that he fell back. Only him grab you, and the wyvern just kind of like.
You okay?
Yeah, holy shit. Had I known that you were so good at flying a wyvern, you should have fucking joined the cult. I'm just at home.
All three. You've all seen Game of Thrones when the dragon breaks and clears through the clouds. Clovis now being at the front with Hallie closely following second. Ash, your wyvern is breaking its back to catch up. Clovis, you see off distant Skyreach Castle.
I will look back to see if I can see my friends emerging from the clouds.
Hey. You do.
Okay. And then I will sort of try and level out a little bit, and I'll make a gesture, like quite a large gesture, over in the direction of Skyreach.
Okay.
Can
You
I
are
send
all-
a message
Yeah, go on.
to Clovis?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna say, keep just above the clouds. The more obscured we are, the better.
Good idea. Concealment would be useful right now. So
Okay.
I'll
I'm
sort
gonna
of try to just sort of like surf the clouds almost.
Okay, so you've burst through the cloud. You're around 30 to 40 feet up above like the line of the clouds. You kind of like just
Yeah, and then I'll dip down a little bit and just sort of go sort of almost like through the canyon of the clouds, almost like
Right.
in that direction. So that there's not a constant line of sight, but just enough that we get a peek at it every now and then to know we're going in the right direction.
okay. Hallie, you see Clovis dive down. What are you doing? Are you following?
I presume he has some tactics, so I'm just a reminder to Joe to hold on, and I again dip down to follow his track that he's making in the clouds.
You all dip down, and as you all get to where the clouds are, start whipping these wyverns to get them to catch up with this castle. I need all three of you simultaneously to now make me animal handling checks, please.
This is the most I'm convinced this is like a record for the amount of
We have
animal
not
handling.
rolled animal handling checks all campaign!
Oh,
We
I
did for
need
Banff. We did for Banff.
Oh, we did, right at the very start. That's very true. And for Zayla, I
oh,
believe.
that's an 11.
Don't know if
Oh,
I'm
no.
for Zayla.
Did you
For
guide
Well,
yourself?
from Ali.
4.
Fuck.
Oh,
Oh,
fucking
it was a good
hell.
attempt.
Diorama of what's about to...
Oh god.
Here's what I prepared earlier.
Did you guide yourself?
Yeah, I did.
I
Oh,
didn't. I
Shit.
forgot to.
I rolled a 5.
I rolled a 2. This sucks. I might just shocking grasp this thing just to get it to fucking obey.
Watch it fall
Oh,
from the sky
trust
like
me.
a fucking lead balloon.
Before Ash did her astro arms thing, I was just about thinking about doing lightning there around the neck of this dragon, and basically just lasso myself around it to sort of wrangle it into.
Let's not hurt dragons, please. They are helping us.
Are they?
Are they?
Ish.
They've been going after birds. They've been trying to get us to dive down. One
Animals.
swiped me off them.
Okay,
You're fine.
Ash, you
Yeah.
feel your wyvern kind of like buck a little bit, and like whether or not you hit like an air pocket as such that was like fucks it up, it just kind of like and its
Turbulence.
wings, you managed turbulence pretty much. You managed just to like get it back steady just. Ali, your wyvern itself at this point is just kind of like smoothly soaring, but as you go and it kind of like speeds up past Clovis, Quinn, the wyvern that Clovis and Quinn are riding kind of shocks itself by the speed in which your wyvern goes past and literally panics, dives into the cloud. Clovis, I need you to make me an athletics check.
No.
That is
Fucking
quite
hell,
literally
spells
my
stuff.
You're holding on.
worst skill.
You're holding on to the reins, and I would assume have them wrapped around your hands.
Mhm.
And have advantage.
Woo! Might not help.
If they've gone into the clouds, I can't see them.
Oh, thank fuck. So 14 with the -1.
14. Feel it as it dives, spin, like barrel roll, as you kind of come out and hold onto the reins and land back on it as it goes up, back
I'm
out of the cloud.
I'm like constantly aware and keeping an eye as to whether Quinn falls off as well.
Quinn does fall off.
So immediately she loses grip, I'm just going to vortex warp her back to me.
You are in the clouds, however, and it is very...
That's why I'm saying, like, immediately.
Okay, so
even
as you spin, you're looking out for Quinn.
Yeah, so while I'm holding on with these things, sort of almost held on by them wrapped around my wrists, and like just sort of as it begins to bank over, I'm just going to vortex warp her back onto its back.
You see Quinn, as you spin off, Quinn loses grip and is flung off saddle, falling and looking cloud below as you down. Vortex have to see the individual to...
Pretty sure, yeah. You magically twist the space around a creature you can see within range. It's 150 feet.
As Quinn disappears into the clouds, you need to be able to see the individual you're casting this on. However, you do manage to hold that gaze long enough that as she disappears and the clouds disappear around her body, see the outline of where she is and manage to vortex warp her back on. But that was close. I was in two fucking minds, man, because that was... Yeah.
I did. I wanted to make it very specific that
I know.
I felt the weight of her go like.
You got it. You managed to vortex warp her back onto the side, and you see as she does, she grasps your waist and puts her head into your back, and you hear in your head, "Oh shit. Okay, don't do that again."
Do what again? Save your life or ride a dragon?
Oh, never doing this again. As the rest of you looking down behind you see the shadow come up through the clouds. And third and final wyvern rejoins the group with Clovis and Quinn. Where's Banff during all this? Yeah. I just wanted to
in my shirt. Like I've got a Banff cravat right now.
That's fine.
Yes.
She's under there.
Just sort of
see her ears are just going with the wind.
Is it the typical tongue out? Just
yeah, Hallie's gonna shout backwards. Can we stop fucking about?
I'm trying.
It's not that hard. Look.
Oh, that is the biggest fuck you I've ever heard from Hallie in my entire life.
Okay, it is windy up here, but you all kind of coalesce together, riding all three wyverns towards Skyreach Castle. You are beginning your approach.
So we are gaining on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It moves a lot slower than wyverns.
Just making sure.
You are gaining on it, but it is going to take you 10-15 catch it.
Okay, so during that time, do we have a moment to sort of get in formation so that we can communicate as easily?
Yeah, I will allow it, given that you're about to try and you need to strategize this next bit, I assume.
Yeah, you could just drop messages between each other.
As you approach, all of you see the layout of this castle. That it is paired with what appears to be like a lower, larger area with a raised up second area, and then towers towards the back.
Okay. And then, so from where we are, in terms of entrances or landing pads, type of thing that these have clearly been useful previously, do we see where they are?
From where you are now, no, but you see that the lower of the section, the most wide open one, like it has this huge wide open space. The next section up, smaller wide open space, or you see a couple of the towers.
And how's the underground of it? Like, is it shaped like a sort of like a diamond
Not so
with,
much.
like,
It's
the
kind of
rock?
rounded. It's a little rounded.
Okay.
But you see that there are like little jagged bits stuck out here and there.
Is there any textures or any platforms like that?
No. You also can see that the majority of the actual structure around it is made of ice.
Okay.
Mm.
Interesting.
Like rock and ice and
So there's no if you were to jump off the wall, let's say, you would just go into the sky, right? There's no outcropping or anything like that.
there is, but it's minimal.
Okay, minimal. That's
Where are we planning to land these creatures?
well, we'll have to keep an eye out for an appropriate location to do so. I don't recommend dropping into the courtyard.
Jove, you mentioned if we go from the top down, it might put us at an advantage. Right?
It depends where we land and from how high. If this thing's huge, then we'll just fall. If there's a place we can land up top, maybe we can work our way down. It depends how we enter this thing, either through the bottom or through the top.
I fear if
One
we
of the
enter from,
towers?
I fear if we enter from a high position, it'll be more opportunities for people within to see our approach.
True.
It depends. How close can we get these wyverns? I
Right
still
up
have
to
the
its-
dust.
Oh, close to each other, you mean?
Yeah.
I can't
If we
imagine
get
we have
close
enough.
enough, if we get close enough and we all just jump on one,
That's
you
not
wouldn't be able
gonna
to
happen.
do
Never
that.
gonna work.
That's never going to work. It's a terrible idea.
Also, I will just say you're trying to
We're moving-
dust at
I'm
high
traveling
speed in the sky. Like,
Oh shit!
what's that thing where the guy goes to like spread some ashes and it's really windy?
Yes.
I say we land in the wider open area at the bottom then. If it's
Awesome. I'd say if anywhere we go to the mid area. But then I suppose there's people coming from both sides.
yeah.
We need some time before we attack this thing head on. So if the larger, wider area is potentially less well guarded and less accessible to important people, we might be able to remain unnoticed there for a little bit longer. But as we approach, keep your eye on the structure, the island on which it floats, anywhere which might permit us access. We need to get in unseen.
I don't know how well that's gonna.
As I'm kind of looking, I want to kind of assess. So it's above the cloud level now, or is it kind of?
it is above the cloud level, yeah.
It is above the cloud level.
And you're kind of skirting along and in
Yeah.
between like the clouds.
okay.
is there any
and-
way we can come from the underside?
We could do a little loop round.
No, as in underneath, and then go up, scale from underneath, and jump off at a good time.
I'm not the strongest climber.
We've barely made it up this high. If one of us falls, we're dead. There's no. No, I say we pick a landing spot. We land and then we hide.
I can potentially give us some cover while we land. Potentially.
What's your idea?
You know that fog cloud I did a ways back? I could potentially just try and disguise it as cloud that has blocked a certain part from view, and that's where we land.
Okay.
Alternatively, we could try and land and make ourselves out to be with the cult, and I think our best bet for doing that is, like Hallie said, in the wider open area. They might not be as familiar with other members there.
Can you two still disguise yourselves?
Yes.
Right.
See Quinn
Does anyone
nodding.
else of us have this?
We have the robes.
But we have to land to put those on. I'm not getting dressed on this thing.
Yes. Let's make our way, continue on closer, quietly and as unseen as possible. If we can see anywhere to land outside of the walls of the castle and make our way in without dropping wyverns into the middle of their courtyard, that's probably the best choice. But otherwise, we can try and talk our way in or fight our way in.
I think we try and conserve as much of our energy as possible. Clovis, Quen, the more... Michael, you're going to have to do the talking here.
Oh,
I think
fuck me.
this is the best way possible. The lower we go, the lower ranking the individuals here might be, so they're less likely to know us. The higher up we go, that's when we are going to need to fight.
There's always a chance that they don't know Brachus is dead yet.
We have precious cargo on board, sent by Brachus. Get us in.
Or I could be Brachus.
You could.
That could work.
Could.
And it doesn't matter who we are. You can
I sort
say,
of like
"Shut the fuck up, they're with me."
I glance back at Quinn as I say that and sort of give her like a sort of a bit of a don't want to, but just sort of to make sure that she's okay with me doing that.
Kind of like turns and just... Well, whatever needs to be done, but I think whatever needs to be done, we need to do it decisively, because once we're in there, we're in. Who knows what we're walking into? We don't want a strategy that can turn us into dust before we even have chance to put this right.
You disguise as Brachus. We will follow your lead as we go in. We find a small room somewhere quiet that we can put ourselves into, regroup, and we go from there.
I agree.
What do we do with Zayla?
I suggest she maybe stays back a little bit and stays above, or at least near one of the walls so that she's not easily spotted. The wyverns they may expect, but young blue dragon may not be something that they would be anticipating arriving.
Are you okay with that, Joe?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to be. Just... He sort of turns to Zayla while he's in the air, sort of. Just stay close. Try and keep within range of at least my mind. And if you don't hear from me within a day or so, just find yourself somewhere safe. Go live.
One other thing. This will get hairy, I'm certain. And for now, we're the only ones here. But we do know other people who can get this high. Do you still have the horn?
Aye.
We may need it.
Hopefully these 6 months are not long enough so they forget their deal with us.
Elves take a lot longer to forget something.
True.
How far are they coming from?
Far.
They said when we need them,
The
blow the
call.
horn and they will come.
My reason for questioning is that maybe we should blow it now to give them time to get here.
I think we wait.
Here's a
was-
question. Hallie, your staff,
Yes.
it makes a portal, right? But the portal's shaped like a tree. Can you make it like just a tree?
It's shaped like a tree. I don't understand your question.
If the elves
You
are
want-
teleporting, the elves need a tree, right? That's how they teleported us in the first place.
I don't know
Hey.
if
If you
anyone
make a
can
tree-
access the tree.
It doesn't create a tree, it requires a tree. That's what I was able to glean from seeing you do it.
No, my stick turns into a tree. It's
Oh, of
that's
course.
What that's how that works. But I think it from what I know from tree teleportation, that you need to know the tree that
You do.
you're, and they wouldn't know my tree.
Even
And
if
I
we
don't-
describe it to them somehow.
I don't know how that works.
To be honest,
how
I
familiar
haven't-
You'd have to be through it.
I haven't figured this whole out yet, but
I mean, I could always open one, go there, get them, and come back, but I've never been there, so I can't do that.
right.
We'll have to rely on them keeping their word. When it was described to us, it didn't sound like something that required a huge amount of notice. I'm sure they have their own means.
We have the Isles.
Okay. We land. How quiet is this horn? I don't want to land and then blow a big ass horn. I mean,
We'll save
but-
it for the right moment.
Save it.
okay.
Keep an eye out for any other landing areas on the rocks and the structure below as we approach.
Yeah.
Thank gods.
Can I see, while I don't know how close we are yet, but as we're approaching, I'm looking for like any sort of underground passages that are in like the rock below that we can maybe sneak up from like underneath.
Okay.
If there's
Make
any sort of like
Yeah.
caves or
me a
Yeah,
perception
I'll also
check,
be
please.
also be
perception.
looking out for that. I think
Yep.
pretty much all of us.
Clovis, make me a perception check.
Ooh.
I'm more looking for people
Oh, that
out
rolls for a
on the
long time.
courtyard.
Okay, Ash, make me a perception check, please.
That is a 28.
Woo!
28.
Mum, it's a 4.
13.
13. Okay, Clovis, you don't spot anything.
See,
Ash,
Shut
you
up.
won't be able to see anything in the courtyard because where you are currently, it is above you.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So the only thing you do see, however, is from this distance, it's hard to make out, but it does seem like where the main gate, there are like two fortified kind of
Right.
towers within the outside wall, right?
Okay, yeah.
One looks around 120 feet, the other one looks around 80, and there does seem to be people manning what appear to be weaponry on those two bits.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Ali, you don't see any entrances to any caves. However, you do see, as you're kind of like scouring underneath, there is what looks to be all enough platform, kind of like carved out of the rock itself. Where looking at this, am I just? So we had this issue last time. Anyone having issues with my audio?
No?
No.
It's fine for us, but I've noticed on the recordings it is when you lean back.
Oh,
It
maybe.
needs to
Wait,
catch
wait,
up.
wait.
Right, I think it's the sound gate that you've been using the last couple of months. It just cracks out halfway through sentences and stuff.
Getting cracked out, bro.
Okay.
Thanks for letting us know, guys.
Yeah, thank you so much.
If it continues after he does whatever he's doing, please let us know. Because we can't hear it.
And we want the stream to be as good as possible for you guys, so please continue to help us out by
I think it was
helping you
because I
out.
was leaning back. I think I had a, like you say, the noise gate, so I have changed that now. So yeah, you should get everything. There you go. You see that there is like an outcropping, basically. So there is enough space there to be able to land 3 wyverns successfully.
Right, if I
Can
spot that, I will lean back to Joe and like, would that be a tactical? And I'm going to try and point it out. Place to land. I don't know if that goes up into the structure itself, but we might be able to land there and rest there. And then I don't think that they can see us from there.
I don't think there's much in the way of any tactical advantage right now. We're in a castle in the sky. We don't know its layout. We don't know what it looks like inside or out. If that's a place to land, it's solid ground. It's better than nothing.
It's better than their central courtyard as well.
There are guards up there manning some kind of weaponry. If we can get in unseen, the better.
Okay,
Ca-
so we head for
Can
the
I
cave,
ask?
and then we'll reassess the situation once we land.
Aye.
Let's make it a quick drop-off. Just
I think these beautiful creatures are going to take off the minute we land, though. So we will. I fear we are going to lose our rides as soon as we do land, so we'll have to make the rest of the way on foot.
That's fine. We can
Okay.
make do.
Okay.
We'll figure it out.
Can I ask a separate question, DM?
Sure.
Because Micah hasn't really been paying attention towards the castle as much, but he is paying attention towards Ash's arm as we're getting close to the castle.
Bro.
She's just
Any
looking
sort of-
around you like,
Is there any sort of reaction on her scarred arm as we're getting closer?
Not this far away, no.
Okay. I'm gonna keep looking at
It falls
having
off.
a look at that
and
as,
falls
as,
to the ground.
no, but as we get closer,
again.
just to see if there's any sort of reaction from
Sure.
either that or my blade.
Yeah, sure. You can keep an eye out on Ash's arm. That's no problem. You all manage to, and you kind of come to the understanding that if you were to fly straight at this cave, it might alert the presence of the guys manning the what, as you kind of get closer, look like huge. Is it a ballista? The
Yeah.
javelin launching thing? It's called a ballista. Those things, which don't look great. So you all decide to swoop down under the cover of cloud and just race these wyverns, and you do successfully manage to get to the outcropping by swooping up and onto it. It doesn't seem like any of you have been noticed, and you. I want you all to make me. No, I'm joking. I'm not going to make you do another animal handler check. That'd just be stupid. You managed to land the wyverns.
what's a land
Also-
check?
I've also noticed this whole time about the fucking runestone of Featherfall.
Yeah. And
Nice.
that's why I was like, am I close enough? I have Featherfall. I can't see them. Never mind. Bye, guys.
So you managed to land the wyverns. You all disembark.
Mark?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bark, bark, bark.
Yes.
You all disembark the wyverns.
That's a
And-
druid joke.
They do immediately, as you kind of like disembark, they kind of like look towards you to see what you do next, and then just kind of open their wings and just swoop back and down into the clouds.
You're down.
All three of them,
Cool.
leaving the fallen on a sheer rock face on a flying castle in the middle of the sky.
What are we doing?
I love how at least half of us have actually been the fallen in this
Mhm.
episode.
So we're gonna go
Fallen
for we're gonna leave it there for a few minutes. We're gonna take a quick break. You guys at home, thank you so much for sticking with us. Please don't go anywhere. We're gonna go on a 15-minute break. We're gonna be back at roughly 5-2. But please don't go anywhere because shit's about to get real.
Oh god.
We will see you
I
in a
don't like
little
it when you
while.
say that.
No,
But
neither.
go get a drink, go get yourselves refreshed, use the bathroom, do what you need to do. We will be back very shortly. Bye.
Bye.
Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for sticking with us through the break. Everyone rushed to the toilet because they're shitting themselves.
Fine.
We also made a
Totally
very
fine.
we also made a very pivotal decision just now in very quick time.
Yeah,
Which could kill us, but
it's fine. We're all good. So,
I want it on the record that I disagree.
it
you
won't come out.
guys find yourself on the edge of this floating castle. What do you want to do?
Sleep.
We
Alright,
rest.
guys.
Right.
I mean, I'm tapped. I think we all should just rest as best as we can. Not near the edge. I don't really feel like falling
Yeah,
off.
anybody who rolls in the sleep on the inside.
I'm not
but
the
yeah.
most perceptive among us, but I don't mind taking the first watch, and I can set up a little bit of a perimeter, and then potentially also see what we might be up against.
Kind of as we kind of have this discussion, as soon as I've landed, I want to check out around the area we're in. Like, how big is it? The walls, are they like solid ice?
Yes.
I just want to, is there any kind of little caves, like any cave system running off? It's literally just this like
Yeah, so
outcropping.
it is legitimately, it's an outcropping, but it's like kind of dug into the ice, so there is an overhang above you, so nobody can kind of like peer down and see you from where you are anyway. So you seem to be completely concealed in your current location. There is no cave system. You are currently on a bit of rock with a wall of ice at the back.
Okay.
That's it.
How big is the area? Is it big enough for
20
for
feet-ish.
gifts?
20
Okay,
feet.
Is it
20 feet, okay.
What are you planning?
No, I'm just thinking if we can summon out GIF for a
Oh, yeah.
trade before we...
I do have 217 gold.
Yeah, which is sort of
we've
what
got
I'm
from the
thinking.
robe as well. We got gold, which
We
I
can sell him
just
stuff.
instantly gave back to Ash. By the way, I know we didn't say that in game, but she bought me lots of stuff. So we got how much gold on the robe? Just double checking.
Let's change the music.
When did we pick up gold?
It was one of the patches on the robe was 100
Oh.
gold. So
It's
I
basically
instantly gave that back to you.
refunded
Great.
robe of useful
Back in 2
items
secs.
that you bought.
Cool.
So do we want to do gift before sleeping or not?
I mean,
I
if we
say
are
not.
going to summon him, I would say probably before.
Okay, you have the coin, dude.
Are we actually doing an impromptu fucking shopping trip on the side of a flying castle?
Apparently.
I say not. I
Yes.
say not. Okay.
Right, do we know what we want to buy?
This is up to...
Healing
Oh,
potions.
only
right?
Clovis has money right now.
I mean, you have money as well.
I now have 118 gold.
Yeah.
I will. Yeah, if I were to ask for anything, I'm going to ask for a couple more potions.
Cool, 2 health potions. Take
Yeah.
100 gold out of your thing,
Cheers.
please. I'm not role-playing Giffy appearing on the side of a... We're just going to fast-track
Quick
this
fire
shopping
this,
trip. Yeah. Does anybody want anybody else want anything?
I'll take. Is it 200 gold for a greater?
Yes.
Go on then. I love that.
Cool.
How much for pittance? Extra pittance.
Pittance do you want?
I don't know.
Why not?
Say 10 pittance.
It can't be more than a couple of silver, so I'll cop.
Is it pittance?
Oh
or
yeah, not
pittance?
even 5
Pittance.
Python, who knows?
Pittance.
It's 5 copper pieces for a set, so just how many sets do you want?
2.
Fine, just you can have 2.
And just as they're doing this, I'm going to take the patches that have the 5 health potions, and I'm going to take it out.
Yep.
Obviously, potions, so they're now in my pocket.
Okay.
Unless there is a scroll of flying.
How much gold would that be?
Yeah. Because I'm just thinking Jove relay us up. Because he could carry us all. I don't know how far you can fly with just your wings.
I think
Fly is
climb.
3rd level, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Third level spell. I've lost my item costing thing. It's going to be a lot, though.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
probably
I've
out
only
of your
got
price
20.
range, to be fair.
Alright, let's do it with the potions then.
Yeah.
Done.
Okay.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Anything else you guys want to do before you get a long rest?
How cold is it?
Very.
Do I feel that we are going to start taking damage if we all start sleeping on this ice, or
It's very cold. I don't think you'll be taking damage, but it is cold.
Do we grab some clothes from him as well? Winter clothes?
does he have winter
Or
clothes?
like pelts?
He's
or
gone.
something?
You guys said you were done. So he's
Okay.
gone.
Fair enough.
Fair. I'm
Get him
going
out
to
again.
produce flame right in the middle of the cave.
Once per day, innit? You're going to produce flame middle of the cave. Okay.
Yeah, the impromptu bonfire just in case to keep us warm.
Okay.
Do we think that's a good idea? Because it's quite bright.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, but we're completely overshone, so it's not like they can even look down and
It'll
see a
shine
light.
out.
Yeah.
It's gonna refract on the ice.
Fine.
We also don't know if anyone else is going to be approaching the castle while we're.
True.
Yeah, we gotta keep
No
out of sight.
produce flame. I go
Um,
to do it, and then Clovis goes.
Okay.
"Come and do that." Yeah.
I am gonna I want to pull Hallie aside quickly.
Okay.
Before we get to bed down, and just kind of like we're scouting out the perimeter, just kind of keeping to the shadows, having a look around. I just say, this could very well be it. If you have a thing for Jove, act on it, or you will regret it.
I mean, you're
I
very
saw you.
deceptive there, Ash.
I saw you two.
But I just don't know if he's ready for that. I'm kind of working on his schedule.
Fair enough. Just
Sure.
might be worth letting him know. He might
I
not
mean,
realize.
he woke up with me hugging him. I don't know how much more you can.
Hallie, he hugged me when I was in a bath towel and I thought he almost passed out. He really does not have that much experience, okay? He doesn't understand what the difference between romantic interest and platonic interest is. If you are, it's none of my business, but just, if it's something you want, just don't leave
And I
anything
wouldn't want to
unsaid.
die or him to die without
Exactly.
saying anything.
It's
Thank you.
it's no pressure on you. Just, I think some things it can bite you in the ass if you say them, but it's better to say them than live with regret.
I also don't want to distract him going into this fight.
That's true.
We need our heads together. If we make this out alive, I promise you I will.
Don't make me
Ow.
any promises. I don't care.
I'll promise myself I will tell him outright
Good. Don't.
if we get
Live
to
with
the ground
regret.
again.
Okay. Cool.
Thank
That was it. You're welcome.
I'm gonna have a conversation with Jove as well.
Fucking matchmakers, dude!
Last night on Earth. Let's go, babes.
You guys don't mind watching, right?
Oh my god.
Stay 20 feet here.
Is that what I sound like?
How are
You
you
sort of see
holding up,
Joe,
buddy?
he's kind of like trying to push himself against ice and like pull up blankets and get comfortable. He's not.
How are you holding up?
Fine, I guess. We're in a cave on the side of a castle that's in the sky. It's as good as it can be, I suppose. You okay?
I'm on the edge, honestly, and
Yeah,
not.
we all are. It's over there.
Yeah, well, not geologically. I mean metaphorically.
Oh. Why?
I'm scared. I'm scared that tomorrow I'm gonna have to throw out my moral compass. And I would...
Why? What happens tomorrow?
Tomorrow we take this shit down.
I don't think it's gonna be that long. I mean, we're only gonna be here for a couple of hours, but I get your point. I mean,
What I mean is
Ma-
that I need you to do me a favor.
okay.
If I go too far tomorrow, I want you to check me.
What's too far?
I don't know. You tell me. You're the righteous one. If you
Yeah,
ever feel
you
that
keep saying that. I mean, you killed an innocent man in the woods and you're still here. I don't really know how much further you can get. Like, we're here,
I don't
we're here
know.
against the bad guys. There's nothing to worry about. Like,
Well,
as long as you're not
if
like...
you
know.
see or get a feeling that I'm going off the edge, can you let me know?
I mean, I can try. It seems like a weird thing to ask me to do. Just because I'm generally the one who goes off the edge. I've never seen you even get angry.
Well,
What do you think you're going to
Something-
do? What are you worried about? What do you think is going to happen to you?
that I'm gonna be so snuffed up with rage and hatred for these people that I won't stop to consider what that might do to the rest of you.
Oh, well, I mean, as long as you don't kill us too and just aim it at them. Like, do you think you're going to hurt us? You're going to hurt me?
No, I
Or,
just
you know,
think that I
Ash or
might.
whatever?
I'm just afraid that if it comes to it, and if any of them tries to take advantage of our relationship, the group's relationship, I'm just afraid that I will completely ignore it. Don't want to do that.
Mike, and he sort of like pushes himself up the ice. Like, look, they've been taking advantage of our relationship since we started this thing. They've been attacking us, trying to kill us, using our friendship against us in whatever way they can. It's our biggest target, but it's also our biggest strength. I don't think you're going to forget that we are around you. You never have before. You're not going to now. You worry too much. You know who the bad guys are, you know who your friends are. Just don't mix the two up, and you'll be fine. I've never been worried about you. Much.
Okay. Well, thanks, Joe. There's also one
Yeah.
other thing.
What?
You really need to talk to Hallie, man.
Why? What's up? She okay?
Are you okay?
Well, I mean, we're
mean,
in
you
war,
go-
not
you
really,
guys-
but
You guys
What?
seem to be getting kind of close, and I just want to, if this is the last day that we'll spend on a fuck cube of ice up in the sky, better make the most of it.
I mean, it's not really great. There's not much I could. What do you mean?
I might be misreading things, but you seem a little bit more than friends.
Why?
I don't know. You've grown.
we?
A little bit. I would say so.
Oh,
I mean, you seem to like her, right?
I like all of you.
you know what? Never mind.
So many conversations with Joe have ended with that.
You know what? Forget it.
You know what? Don't worry about it.
Be specific. Oh, okay. I'll talk to her in a minute, I guess. Thanks, Mike. You talk to someone too. Right.
Yeah.
Sound advice.
I don't think that's going to
Brilliant.
happen, but sure. And I'll walk up 5 feet.
5 feet away. We'll just turn away from each other.
So I'm going to spend the time while these guys are having that conversation to cast alarm with Anguisse.
Yep.
And set up this alarm in this sort of area just in case anyone gets in that I don't spot.
No problem.
And before everyone begins to bed down, because I'll take the first watch, I'll say, does anyone want to spend a small amount of this time perhaps customizing themselves with the other mask that we have in our possession? If we're going to use them, we should at least be able to use both.
Well,
Go on.
you've had yours in your possession for quite a while, Hallie. Would only seem right if you had it.
I agree.
I can certainly try. It looks pretty cool. I wish it could do something fun. And every little helps, I think, in this fight that's coming out.
May I have the other one as well? I feel like if I'm separate from it too long, my bond will be severed. So just for a short time.
I think Ash has both of them, but I'm happy to.
Expend a key point again to bamf out my arms, and because I'm very hesitant that taking out the masks might alert somebody inside. So I want to know if I'm alerted. If I'm alerted, I'm putting them straight back in. Like if my arms begin to pulse, I'm putting them straight back in.
Okay.
But I take them out and I go to give them to them both.
Okay. You don't feel pulsating in your arm.
Cool.
Place
We
it on my
should-
head.
Okay. So you start attuning to the white dragon mask.
Oh, I do.
Go Power Ranger.
I'll just sort of rest mine on my head and just sort of close my eyes a little bit and feel the magic running through it and just sort of reacquaint myself. I don't think I need to attune to it again, do I? Because it's
No. It's not
been
been.
24 hours.
No, and it's not been out
So
of your
I'll just
possession. and- yeah.
re-establish that connection and then immediately put it back in the bag.
Seeing him doing that, I'm like, okay. And I kind of sit down,
And then-
like cross-legged. And I'm like, I try to focus. I've never really tried to focus like this before, but so I put it on my head. And I'm like closing my eyes and I'm trying to focus like a child would. Like, focus. That's what I'm doing for an hour.
An hour.
Well, that's
After-
how long it takes to achieve,
It
doesn't
does, yeah. Are you doing anything else during this hour, though? Or are you just focusing on attuning to this thing?
I am going to. If anyone wants to talk to me, I will talk to them. If I can also do that in a tune, but other than that, I am just sitting still,
You can,
scrunched faced, and
yeah.
focusing.
You can talk while attuning to something. You just can't do anything active. You can't be like wandering around or like you have to like.
No, and that's what I'm doing.
Okay. So, anybody want to talk to Hallie while she's attuning? Jove? By any chance?
Wait, what? Do you guys want this?
No, you're good. I'm
Do what you
just
wanna
asking,
do.
does anybody else want to do anything while... Do you want to do anything else, Hallie, while you're tuning, or is that all you're doing?
That's what I'm doing.
Okay, so it takes...
I mean, as genuinely as she sat there with the helmet on, just sort of sat. Joe's just gonna like before he settles in, just sort of like coming to like a squat next to her, like, "You okay?" Mike said, "I needed to talk to you about something."
Of course he did. I am trying to focus, but I wanted to let you know. I don't think you actually realize, because sometimes things go over your head a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't deny that, yeah.
Yeah.
I do care for you.
I mean, I
And-
care for you too.
She did say that this was going to be... Okay, right. I like you, not like a friend. I think you have a huge heart. And if we survive this, I want to go on a date. If that is what you want to do. And
Oh.
not like friends, just making that clear.
Oh. Well, okay. Well, you said why me, but why? Okay. Sure. There's a lot that goes into it, though. Orc dating is not. I gotta do stuff
Oh no.
before we
Whoa.
we do anything.
I mean, we've got time. You can do whatever you need to do to prepare. I don't know what that means. For once, I'm the one.
Oh, well, no, it's so there's like there's a way of doing it. I have to find out the things you like, the kind of stuff, offer things when I come meet you, give you the
Oh, honey, we can
like
we
a
can just go for a meal
route.
and we can find out
know.
what we like. Okay?
Okay. It's not how I normally do it, but sure. I mean, you don't eat meat though, do you?
you normally do it?
I mean, I never have, but I was always told that if I ever found the person I was meant to be with, it would be once, and I would know. So I've just been kind of waiting for that.
Okay.
Clovis and Ash in the corner like, what the fuck?
Oh,
One
dude.
person?
Okay. We will talk about this when our lives are no longer in danger. I just didn't want the chance of you or I or both dying without saying that.
No, I appreciate it. It's never had anyone like me before, outside of just knowing me.
Sweetie,
I don't get it.
not
but
to sound mean, but I think you wouldn't have noticed.
True that.
You are very likable, and
Dad!
what are you guys doing?
Oh, there's a GIF I've missed, and I want to see it.
Yeah, anytime this happens, I go straight to Discord.
Oh no, you
No,
don't listen to the
it's the
music.
music.
Oh,
Oh, I
no,
don't
the
have it
music
up.
hasn't changed for me.
Oh no.
Oh.
And I can't have it open.
Oh, it, says
Sorry.
Like-
it's age,
like I
it
said.
says it's age restricted though, so I'll take it.
I just
It
don't
wasn't.
think
It
you
wasn't
may
a
have
drum
noticed.
rim shot, was it?
No. It was it was Joe
Bum.
Cocker and You Can Leave Your Head On. Sorry, we're
Hey.
ruining a very nice moment here. Sorry.
So yeah, I just I think now you know where I stand, and I've made it as clear as I actually really could have.
I mean, it's
I
good.
think
People should make things clear. It's what I've been saying since I started this. It's just no one ever does.
and now I have.
Yes. I've never done this before. Okay, I don't know what it means
I
to
know.
romance people. Or
Sorry, was that an orcish word? sorry. Romance.
Okay, I really have to focus on this, so let's focus on not dying, and I will
I
teach you
mean,
what
I
it
could do that.
means to romance.
oh, okay. Because
Oh,
I don't
is
think
that
I don't think you could do it the orcish way. It's very violent.
Okay.
After an hour, Hallie, you managed to attune. We're moving swiftly on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
You managed to attune to the white dragon mask. Go, go, Power Ranger.
Go, Bella.
Is it an item?
Yes. And I will tell you what you get with it.
Nice.
You get damage absorption. You have resistance against cold damage.
Ooh.
If you already had resistance against cold damage, it becomes immunity to.
I don't have resistance.
You get Draconic Majesty, so while you're wearing no armor, you can add your Charisma bonus to your armor class.
Okay. Am I wearing armor? Hold on.
You get a Breath Weapon.
I get a breath. Okay.
Yep. You gain Dark Vision up to 60 feet. If you already had it, it doubles. And you get Blind Sight once a day out to 30 feet for 5 minutes. You can speak and understand Draconic, and you also have advantage on Charisma checks made against white dragons.
Oh, okay.
You get 1 legendary resistance a day, so you can choose to save a saving throw if you fail it.
Nice.
And you also get Winter's Fury. While your current hit points are equal to or less than half your hit point maximum, you deal an additional 1d8 cold damage with your melee attacks.
That's brilliant. Thank you.
You are welcome. You all gain the benefits of a long. I think yours. I think you do.
Oh no, I got water.
But...
I got water breathing.
Oh, you got water breathing. You all gain the benefits of a long rest.
Well, while I took my first watch, I'm going to use the last charge of Anguisse to cast Arcane Eye.
Okay.
And I am going to send it up. Just sort of briefly scanning the rocky terrain leading up to the wall as I do to see if I can see any paths, but that's not really my main focus. My main focus is looking up over the wall to see what is within. And it lasts an hour.
Yep.
So I will spend the entire hour not going sort of down in and looking through rooms or anything like that. I'm going to look in the lower section, try and get an idea of its function and its basic layout. And then I'm going to go to the elevated section, see what the differences are. Same thing again.
Okay. So let's start from the beginning then. So you go up the craggy rock face all the way up to the base of the wall. It seems climbable up to that point. It's then just the sheer wall that you've got to contend with. You do see, though, there is kind of enough rock face on the side that if you were to walk around to the main gate, you could possibly enter through there if needed. As you go up and over the ice wall, because it is a sheer ice wall.
So the walls of the castle are made of ice as well?
Yep.
Okay.
And you go up and over the wall into the lower courtyard. You see where the main gate is, just off to the side of that. There is a large stable with 2 wyverns in there.
Okay. One thing I should also note is that I'm trying not to get too deep in there because I'm trying to avoid if anyone's able to detect magic or has true seeing. So I'm trying not to approach any individuals as well.
That's fine. You see that there are a couple of kobold walking around in the lower courtyard. The lower courtyard is quite an open, expansive, wide area. You see also there are a number of different like little buildings kind of built into the wall along the side of the main wall. And then you see that the upper level kind of overhangs the lower one ever so slightly, and it kind of casts a shadow down underneath. But whereas you kind of like going around the lower level, you see that there's a bit of a break in the inner ice wall with what looks to be a staircase. And as you kind of like move the arcane eye up to the upper courtyard, you see that there are 4 ogres in that courtyard, all manning weapons and drilling with these weapons in that courtyard. What strikes you as peculiar is that every single doorway in here is around 15 feet high. And each wall is roughly like the buildings are around 25 feet high, 30 feet high. Like this castle seems to have been designed for large
big
stuff, yes.
4 ogres, big stuff. Okay. So is that my whole hour?
I mean, not really. You probably do that in around 15 minutes.
Okay, these 2 towers, do they have windows?
One of them does, yeah. Well, no, they do have windows. They have like
the two towers, are they at the front on the lower section, or are they
So
up
on the
back
lower section, they are more like portcullises. So like next to the gate. Oh no, portcullis is what you drop down on a gate. They're the two bits,
turrets kind of thing.
kind of the two fucking bits where the gate is. The big, I don't know what they're actually called. Towers. Gatehousey, towery things. That's what they're called now. But there are towers in here. There are 2 towers in here, both on the upper level. One is kind of off to one side, connecting to the outside wall. It goes up to around 60, 70, 80 feet off that upper level floor up. Quite. It's not the biggest of the 2 towers, but it's quite big. Again, 15-foot doorway into it. And then up the highest point of this entire place is oh, sorry, 1 second. You see the tallest tower is kind of like built into the tallest section, so the upper courtyard goes into what is kind of, it's not so much a building, more like a large iced formation with a tower that stems from it.
Okay. And does that larger tower have windows?
It does, yeah.
It does. I will guide my arcane eye to look through the windows from 30 feet away.
Okay. Of the taller tower.
Of the taller tower.
Okay. Remembering the layout, I completely forgot.
So it's like a circular tower. So I'll kind of corkscrew up, looking in at it, getting sort of like a drone UAV look through the windows. So I'm not going to be able to see much specific in there, I would assume. But
so now that I've got the map up, I can tell you a little bit more in detail. So the actual like mound at the top, it's sort of, it becomes very apparent that this castle was built around this rock, right? So the mound is the actual tip of what is this rock formation iced over, right?
Gotcha.
And you see that the tower at the very top kind of like, there's 2 of them in the middle, one on the outside. The one on the outside is one of the taller ones, as I said. And as you kind of look in through the main windows of the other 2 towers, you see one of them, which is the taller of the 2, has what appears to be a rather large room at the very top of the tower. It has quite a large bed in there.
Okay.
We're not talking a double bed. It's a large bed in the top of that tower. You don't see anybody in there though. The lower of the 2, you do see movement in, but it's like as they kind of like walk past, you don't really see what it is. But this window, like whatever has walked past, isn't like a small figure. It has encompassed the window as it walked past.
Is that in the second smaller tower?
Yes.
Okay. So the big bed is in the big tower.
Yeah.
The moving big thing is in the little tower.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm pretty satisfied with that.
Okay.
And then if I have any time remaining, I'm just going to see if there's people coming and going from any particular place in particular.
Okay.
On the second tier.
On the second tier, you see that on the second tier there is a smattering of like kobolds that kind of walk out of one of the buildings on the side of the wall. They kind of like walk across in the courtyard and into another room and then back again. The ogres that are dueling and sparring. A couple of them go back into another larger room, and then a couple of others walk out to start sparring. It kind of gives you an idea that there's more than 4.
Okay, I'll take particular note of what door the ogres are walking in and out of.
Okay.
No cult robes.
Not on this level that you've seen, no.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
By that point, if I run out at that point, then I'll snap back to reality. Oh, there goes.
Okay, no problem. Oh, there goes Rabbit. So, is there anything else anybody else wants to do before their long rest?
Negative.
Nope, but I will say that Ashes very much will struggle to sleep.
I think Michael would like to pray a little bit during his watch.
Ooh. I was gonna pray during my watch. Twinsies.
Okay.
And try to reach out to Bahamut like he did back at the temple.
Okay.
I don't know if you're there, or if you're even knowing what we're about to attempt tomorrow. But you once told me that my time was about to come. That these people needed me. And I have to be honest that temptation has grown inside me for quite some time. I want to do whatever I can.
Okay, one sec. Carry on, sorry.
I want to
Gods have left the building.
protect them however I can. This sword I don't know why, but I feel like I can use it better if I just give in. But I'm afraid. I'm afraid of what the consequences might be. Is this what I'm meant to do? Is this what I'm here for? I know
Sorry.
I've already lived my life. So is this what you need me for?
Nobody else is awake at this point, Michael. You are sat with one leg hanging off the side of the castle. And in your head, you hear a very familiar voice, but one that you've not heard since you first met the Fallen. Michael, you were chosen as one of the Fallen way before you came to realize who they were. Well, you see, the longest time you have been searching for an answer to a very particular question. Well, here is your answer. It was my doing. My doing that brought you back one last time. But you, as in a previous life, are conflicted. And you have been toying with the decision of what is the right. So I ask you now, what choose you? Be it light, or be it dark. Hello? You're still there?
Still on.
I don't. Talking to my friends, they talk about me as if I'm more light than I am dark. And inside, I feel like with everything I've done, I'm more dark than I'm light. But maybe I'm both. Maybe I'm the passage between.
Since you have come back to this world, you have been more concerned about what was than what is. You have shown good deeds and a good heart since you've returned. But you have this connection to the past and your darker self. And so, if you choose, then that side of you shall encompass all that you are. Or there is another way. Choose the light. Cast away these remnants of who you were, and live as who you are now. But that is not my choice to make, but yours. So choose.
And help me. Help me choose light.
And you know what you must do. Cast out the dark and welcome in the light. For good.
I'll summon my blade.
The blade appears in your hand. And as it does, you see something that you've only witnessed once before, as these tendrils latch onto your hand. Children, please.
What?
Just laughing in the cheap seats.
It's the fucking gifts. It's the gifts going on right now.
Black tendrils stem from the hilt of the sword and attach to your hand, and you feel your grip tighten as the hilt of the sword pulsates in your palm. And the sword weighs heavy.
Been with me for far too long. And I'll invoke my aura.
You describe what that looks like, please.
Around me, this light appears. It's almost like the dark saber from Star Wars,
Nice.
but it burns a little bit brighter, a little bit lighter than before. And I focus it into my hand where the sword is.
Okay.
And try to release the grip I have on my sword.
How do you do that? You just trying to let go of it?
Yeah.
Just onto the ground or over the edge?
I'm just trying to release my fingers and see if I can move my fingers sort of to release the grip.
Not enough
And
conviction
then
yet.
I'll plummet it over the edge.
You try and you hold it. And you try to release your hand from the hilt. And as your fingers release, it grips again. And you feel your whole arm tense as you look down before pulling the sword behind your head and launching it. As the sword releases. As you watch as this sword spirals down into the cloud, and as it breaches into the cloud, you see a small eruption of white light in the cloud. And as you hold your hand over, you feel your hand become warm as you reach out again and look up the clouds above and all around, and hear in your head, good. And from this day on, welcome in. Oh, 1 second. 1 second. There's a reason for this. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. Welcome in the light, Marcellius. As you hold your hand out and as you feel the same control over the blade, you hear, and as the sword hits your hand, a white light erupts from the hilt down your arm, changing that glow from the dark saber glow into a warm glow of yellowish light, and the blade in your hand glows the same and looks entirely different as this golden hilt and golden bladed sword appears in your hand. And as you look down to the cross section of the blade, you see the sigil of Bahamut emblazoned on the sword.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Nice.
Oh shit.
As your true patron reveals himself.
Hmm? Hmm? Sort of test.
What would you like to do, Michael? Or should I call you Marcellius?
Mark. Mark or Mike.
Sorry, I'm a little bit.
I didn't know.
I think Marcelius would just close his eyes and just breathe.
You do so.
And then sheathe the sword into the holster.
As you do, and you finally look down, and as you sheath the sword, you see that your hunting coat has turned from the dark black into a beautiful white hunting coat with golden filigree throughout the collar and on the sleeves, and down to a white, beautiful shirt.
Well, that's a wardrobe change. Fuck me.
As you come to the end of your watch, next up, Ash,
Yeah.
you wake up to see Michael, as you know him, stood on the edge of this space, as I have just described.
Hello? What? When did you get new clothes?
Hard to explain. But I think I can do more than I could before.
Ooh.
Can I,
Animal handling check. Sorry.
mirroring kind of can I just like, so as I turn to kind of face, as we kind of face each other, can I inspect to see if there's anything, like, obviously there's this like change of coat, but do I clock anything like different about him?
You see that... Yeah, you do see something extremely different.
Uh-huh.
Michael has colour in his skin, and his cheeks are no longer kind of set in, they are full. And the white streak in his hair is a beautiful blonde.
Oh. Ash recreating essentially the moment from the boat all those weeks and months ago, gently places a hand. And then just kind of, can I? And goes to touch your chest, your heart.
You do.
Yeah.
And there is a roaring.
Michael! What did you do?
Apparently it's Marcelius.
Okay, that doesn't answer the question. Michael! Ophelius, whatever. Look at you.
You were right.
I offered am, but about what?
I found out who I really am.
I jump and grab him into a massive hug.
As you grab Marcellius
Mm-hmm.
and grab him into a hug, Michael, I assume you hug Ash back.
No.
You have a flood of memories. As if a wave comes over you. You remember growing up in Waterdeep with your mother, tall, beautiful, black-haired maiden, and your father, giant hulking man wielding huge battle axe. And you remember being a young boy and your first experience with magic and casting a ball of light in your hand while your mother kneels down in front of you smiling with a ball and mote of light in her hand also. You see your mother and a look in her eyes, a proud, proud look. She promises to take you somewhere where you can harness this and learn. You then get a memory of your mother and father and you in a cart on a road with the city of Baldur's Gate in front of you. And a new home. After a brief vision of this house, you see yourself in the presence of a small, white-haired, what looks to be gnomish individual, talking to you about how best to harness your power and that he will take you somewhere where it can be taught and where you'll be safe to practice. You're taken into his studies, and you're there for about a year before another young boy joins. Small half-elven boy with his mother in tow comes to the place that you train one day, and this individual's mother looks worried and scared and unsure of what this place is and if they can even help her son. The next vision is you both in a small courtyard with training dummies in front of you, practicing your various magics. The next vision is you both a bit older. You are somewhat, in appearance, older than this individual. At this time, you're in your late teens, and the other lad is around 10, 11, thereabouts. You're around 16 at this point. You're then tasked with your first outing. And though you never see who this individual is, you are sent on your first mission. And you succeed, and you see visions of countless other various little missions and quests and things that you're sent on until you are in your early 20s. The other small boy that was with you is no longer there. And neither is your white-haired trainer. You now start receiving orders from another individual. A slender, dark-haired, slicked back-haired individual with a chiseled jaw and a kind of jaunt look. Pretty much to what you've all become accustomed, Michael, to look like. Cheeks kind of set in, and he then tasks you with an infiltration mission. Infiltrating a group called the Cult of the Dragon. And you're to do what you must do in order to gain as much information as you can, and not to risk your life. The next vision you have, you're back in the large room that you've seen before. You're surrounded and encompassed by other members of this cult who are trying to induct you in. And though you were told to do whatever it takes, this is a step too far for you. So you run. And you keep running. And you see the next 10 years of your life in hiding, on the run, and keeping your head down. Until one day, they catch up to you. A group of merciless individuals who, for want of a better way to describe this, Michael, torture you. For as much information as they could glean, though you do not give them any. Until your resolve gives out as a dagger is forced through your chest and into your heart. And as you pass from the world, you get visions. These visions are the ones that you saw when you woke up, of a young Air Genasi girl somewhere out in the world as you breathe your last breath and your body goes cold. And these memories all flood back in a wave that takes you as if by a moment. But you, for the most part, see a happy and healthy boy with loving parents who only wanted the best for him, that made the right choices at just the wrong times. As you hold Ash in this embrace. Well, that's all you see.
Ooh.
I remember them all. My parents. Clovis. I didn't work for the cult. I fought against them.
Part of me, I think part of me knew that. Because I know I said that what you did in your past life didn't matter, but who you are now, there is no way that could have been you. I have always seen light in you, Michael. Marsilius. Even when you failed to see it, refused to see it at times, were willing to gamble with evil to protect your friends, saying how dark of a person you were and how you were tainted, corrupted. But to even be willing to sacrifice that for newfound friends, that's more of a testament in and of itself.
Thank you.
You said that we were two sides of the same coin. And kind of at this point, I like press our foreheads together. I think we're just two stars in the same solar system shining just as brightly as one another.
Yeah.
You better not forget that.
I won't.
Because I will kick you off this mountain. Off this flying castle if you do. Okay?
Promise.
Good.
Thank you.
Michael,
I'll try
you...
get some.
Oh, go on. Sorry.
I'll try get some rest.
Do. Big day ahead of us tomorrow. Marsilius.
Good night, Asha.
Good night.
Michael, you bed down for the evening. And for the first time, what feels like forever, you manage to get a really good night's sleep. You're calm and you're happy, but you just keep replaying these memories over and over in your head. Finally, with a bit of resolve, as you manage to get a long rest. Is there anything else anybody else wants to do before we finish this long rest?
I think just during Ash's watch, because she hasn't been sleeping well the few hours that have gone by for Clovis's and Michael's watch. Like, as much as she's trying to fight them, every time she closes her eyes or looks at the cave ceiling, she sees her friends there, nailed in place, hanging above her. And so she keeps shaking, and then when she's finally woken for that watch, seeing Michael, seeing Marsilius, it's like a short relief that her friends are still okay. They are thriving, if anything, that good things, even in all of this, are still happening. And so she sits and keeps an eye out without the corner of her eye, but draws. And instead of the scribbles that are there from their brief stop by the trees where she was just sketching horrific images, she turns to a new sheet and she sketches Marsilius as he is right now. She sketches a tiny little bite-sized bamf. She sketches kind of a still shot of Quinn and Clovis exchanging like a knowing jostle, like an inside joke jostle, just capturing that, and it's just capturing the good moments. And there's a moment of Jove, and then she sketches Jove squatting down over Hallie with this, trying to put this dragon mask on, like this clear laughter and chuckle and exasperation in Hallie's expression. And then she sketches herself. And this is the one she kind of struggles the most with. She begins sketching, and it's almost like that deformed creature that she was turned into is manifesting onto the page before she scribbles it out. Changes to her next sheet, takes a deep breath, and draws essentially herself in her astral form, watching over all of her friends, keeping an eye out, making sure they're safe. but that's what she's gonna do for the long rest, for her watch, and then.
You find there is a sense of solace in this. And as you finally put the pen down and look at this beautiful sketch, you hear off in the distance the crack of lightning somewhere.
You'd best be on my side tomorrow. Gonna need you.
You all gain the benefits of a long rest. You manage to get through the night. Morning breaks, and Clovis, you are lay on your back, and you're warm, even though you're lay on what appears to be ice. As you kind of like open your eyes and see that Banff is essentially using you as a bed, and is just kind of like lay on you with her head like just under your chin as you kind of like look up, and she's just like flat out on you.
I kind of tilt my head to see if she's dribbled on my coat lapels.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, she has, yeah.
She's big
My
bang
eyes roll
again,
back.
right?
Yeah. It's been more
Yeah.
than 2 hours.
Yeah.
She's back.
She's back to normal size Banff, as she's just kind of like lay on you, Clovis.
My head just falls back and my eyes roll. I say, I need to get another one of those potions. Come on, girl. Oh, it's a little scratcher on the back of the neck.
She kind of does that thing where she just like tilts her head back so that her face is on yours, and just like her tongue comes out, wraps around your nose,
yes.
and yeah.
Good morning. Yes, I know. Thank you.
And she does.
No.
She kind of jumps up and like looks
Big
a bit
stretch.
happier and stretches. Yeah, big stretches.
I go, ooh, big stretch.
Ooh, big
Oh,
stretches.
big switch.
Because it would be illegal if you did not.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the law.
It is the law.
I may be an asshole, but I'm not a monster.
But you all rise the next morning, and Michael Arcelius is the last to rise. But as you do, and you kind of stand and stretch, you see that the eyes of almost the entire group are resting on you.
Good sleep then.
Best sleep I've had in 90 plus years.
Well, I mean, you were dead, so I wouldn't be so sure about that. You look fantastic.
You too, Clovis.
Did you put on cult clothes? Why are you wearing white?
It's a gift from Bahamut.
Where's the rest of ours?
Got a heartbeat. Ash says from this pile of like letters, and she just like literally like crashed against the wall. She's just like rubbing a crick in her neck and just smiling at everyone. He's got a heartbeat.
I got a lot of new things that I didn't have.
Did you
before.
always have a heartbeat?
No.
I don't touch you much, so I don't know.
I have all my memories.
Oh wow.
You do.
I remember your mum. My mum. My father.
You see Clovis's eyes kind of twitch into a frown. And then
I remember
back to
Kristen.
them. Well, it's not all good then. That
No, it
old
is.
fart.
He taught us both. I didn't work for the cult. I was sent to infiltrate them. I
So-
brought information.
And I just sort of look over at Quinn and I just say, the Syndicate.
She kind of like raises her eyebrows. She goes, could be. Maybe that's why. Maybe.
Maybe Crispin worked for them as well. I knew that old fart didn't have it in him.
Or maybe he didn't.
This is remarkable and wonderful. Well, I suppose I should say I'm glad to have you back, Michael.
I guess it's time I actually introduce myself then.
Joe,
My name's Marcelius.
Jove is gonna have a fucking meltdown.
throws Michael off the thing. Fuck this.
Nope, we're not doing this again.
Apparently, my name is Marcelius Umbra.
Pretty.
It suits
I'm
you.
still gonna call you Mike.
It's okay.
Still
Good.
works for that, I suppose. Would you prefer us to call you Marcelius now?
I don't mind. You can call me whatever you like.
Marcelius
okay.
rolls off the tongue far better, I think. It suits you
In this fucking accent.
better than Michael.
Marcelius.
Marcelius!
Well, I'm glad you had a good rest. You do look like you've got some color in your cheeks, and we're gonna need that come soon. Where I hate to rush us, but
No, you are quite right.
I just
Oh,
don't
yes.
want this castle to land enough to get crushed underneath it. That's all.
Yeah, we probably need to go.
Well, we'll certainly have the element of surprise. Now, what's first?
Well, I was able to do some brief reconnaissance over the evening, and I will divulge everything rather than role-playing it out again. It seems the walls are made of sheer ice. Now, I don't know if anyone has anything that might make that a little bit easier. If not, looks like those pittons might come in handy. The lower levels are much less guarded and also less dangerous. There are ogres on the second tier, quite a number. It seems this place is built for them. So
How
we should
high from here would you say the lower courtyard is? Sheer ice climb is tricky.
Well, that's not the only thing that'll be tricky. The second tier looms over the first. So even if we were to climb, there would be a gap between us and the second level that we would not be able to scale with climbing alone. There is a staircase, though. Unless anyone can get us up there by any other means, that's probably our best bet. Save for climbing the mountain itself.
I mean, I have a
Quickly check things.
I have a way of getting up without climbing, but I don't. That would just be me. I can't take anyone with me.
I could fly up, or levitate up, and I can cast it on 3 of us. It gets us up and over the walls rather than climbing.
That's true.
Can any of you do that
I mean, I could
thing where you move us from one place to another?
I could potentially turn one or two of us into flying creatures, though it would be quite a lot of power.
Sorry.
And you're right, you're getting attacked.
Yeah, like you said, flying creatures in this big fucking daddy long. I was like, "Oh!"
Dan was getting attacked earlier when the emotional speech was going on as well.
Do you know when you
Yeah,
mentioned
like the
kaiju
biggest
before?
fucking thing flew into
Yeah.
the house. It was awful.
I think. Do you know what? I think I saw
Holy
I saw a big ass moth fly past your camera earlier,
Yeah.
and I didn't mention anything. You'll see it on when you watch it back.
I will not be watching it back then.
Oh god, our DM is under attack! Quick, guys!
Oh my god. I'm not kidding when I say kaiju. It was fucking massive.
Ooh.
Oh god.
Apologies if anybody has some kind of
Yeah.
phobia of insects.
Yeah.
Why would you? It's dead.
There's 2 of them.
Well, just
This has been the most turbulent, like D&D. I'm not going to be able to look at the screen until this thing is dead.
Get some bug spray, dude.
I'm a warrior. I shall murder it with force.
Warrior.
A
I
horror.
shall murder it with
Well,
Well, if
As I was saying,
No!
Well, if
you can make 3 of us fly, I can make myself. So that's.
that's
Was
four
it
of
you
us.
and 3 others, or you and 2 others there, Quinn?
Myself and 2 others.
So that's 4 of us that can get up.
Could you not do your animal thing?
I could do it with all of us. I can do it with all of us. Oh, can I?
I don't.
I could do it with all of us because it's. Let me look at how many sorcery points I've got. Oh, I could do it with 5 of. Oh no, yeah, 5 of us.
That's fine. I can carry Banff and I can get him myself. So.
Oh, well, there we go.
fine.
Twin spell levitate.
Oh yeah.
I can cast levitate.
Well, let's save that for an emergency then.
Okay.
Your one.
So what? We just tie ourselves together with rope and float out of
No.
here.
That's not. No, it doesn't quite work like that. We'd have to get to the edge of the ice wall. I'd cast it. We'd levitate up to the top, and we'd hold onto the wall as I turn it off. And you just have to grab on and climb over.
Actually,
If any of you move away from the wall, I can push you towards the wall. Mine isn't levitate, I believe.
I mean,
I can.
if we're all floating and tied together, can't you just grab the rope in your flying form and take us where you want to go?
that's
Instead of
exactly
us-
what
Floating
Essentially.
up. And let's
Okay.
just do
That's
that.
the plan.
will be like a little streamer on the back of your tail.
A kite.
This is going to look ridiculous, but
Um,
sure.
All
well,
of the best plans do.
Also, Hallie, can't you transform into, I don't know, like a big fuck off eagle or something?
I mean, I can,
That's-
but I have another thing I can do, which
Is that going
I
to use
have-
a 3rd level spell slot rather than just a wall shape?
yeah, but I can do things in wild shape.
You got loads of those, haven't you?
2.
No,
I only got 2.
only get 2.
Do I get another wild shape now that I'm 9th level?
I don't know. You have to check.
Should
I'm
you-
still
should
trying to kill this.
Yeah, that's right. You kill your beast while I figure this out. There's still
We
2.
figure out how to
All
kill
right.
you.
I'm honestly, I've got like an axe and
Oh my
Oh
god!
my god.
If the stream suddenly goes off, everyone, just know
No,
that
it's
Dan has
something wrong.
destroyed his computer.
It's good.
Alright, well,
I actually got it
should
with
we
my
do that
axe.
then?
Oh my
Fine.
god.
I can turn into an eagle.
I'm gonna keep this close
That's
to
what I'm
hand,
gonna do.
just in case.
Do what you want to do.
So where are we going? Where are we inserting ourselves? Like I said, the lower area is much less populated, and by seemingly far less. Well, I don't know about less populated, but
Well, I
less serious threats.
I also think that if we go to the lower courtyard, we'd systematically work through until we get to where we need to go. But what is the end game here? Let's say we take them all out. This is a floating fucking castle. Do any of you know how to fly a floating castle?
Might
No.
not need
Okay.
to fly it.
Who are we here to
Maybe
kill
we-
as well, actually?
The cult of the dragon.
Where is
Yeah, but
he?
who
Right?
specifically? There's got to be someone
Resmir.
here, right?
Rule and Mondarth. Any of those
Here.
fuckers who are involved. Whatever we have to do to stop them enacting their plan.
What if we just go to the top then? Instead of going from the bottom and working up, why don't we just go from the top and work down? Less people.
Did you say that they were digging something?
Drilling. No, sorry. I should explain. I said drilling, I meant like running drills, not
Oh, they're drilling
and
each other. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I get what you mean.
Well,
No, no, no.
I kind of just pat him on his back, like,
Quinn literally looks at you, Joe, and goes, "Yes." Just literally just stares at you as if like.
I honestly, I'm open to any option. Yes, working from the bottom upwards would start us with seemingly the lowest threat level, but they must be housing the vast majority of their force somewhere, because most of what I saw up top was kobolds and ogres. I fear if we enter in the lowest, we may have to work our way through a fair number of cultists before we're able to reach the top. At the same time, this is a flying castle. I'm sure that any threats that they might perceive, they would assume could fly, so it's unlikely that they would put their most vulnerable
True.
things at the top, it wouldn't really make much of a difference to anyone attacking. Whatever is here, I would guess, is in the heart of it.
So where are we going?
Bottom up, I think.
Bottom up. Okay.
Bottoms up.
So the plan is we levitate,
I think.
wild shape,
I
we can get
think.
into the courtyard.
I think if we can destroy the staircase to the second level, from the second level, then we cut off.
Aye.
Then we cut off the lower levels from encroaching on us. If we're able to destroy the staircase, as it does seem to be the only means of access to the second floor,
That we know
then
of.
that we know of, yes, but at least the easiest one. It might buy us some time before we have to fight too many of them.
Well, what
It
about
would
one
at
of
least mean that we're not being attacked from both sides and eliminate one of their options.
Very true.
But then,
So we go in and contend with ogres and kobolds rather than potential forces prior to that fight. Take out the
Exactly.
strongest first. It's not a bad plan.
exactly, and
If we
hopefully
can.
cut off their means of quick reinforcements by somehow destroying the staircase. When I saw it, was the staircase stone or ice?
Can we melt this bitch?
Can Quinn fireball this bitch?
I don't think it'd be ice, to be honest. I don't think it would have been made of ice.
Fucking everything else is.
It's just covered in ice. It's not made of ice.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Okay.
It,
How would they keep it ice?
I don't know.
It's magic.
you're the
It's
DM.
flying.
Are we flying? Yeah.
You've made. It is a word.
half elf.
That's true. No, it's ice covered. It's not made of ice. Covered in ice.
To be fair, a very bad thing to make a staircase out of. It's honest.
Yeah, true.
A lot of broken necks.
I think on that ground alone, it would be it's a hard no.
Yeah,
It's
no,
definitely
They
going to
were
be
doing
stone.
risk assessment and they were like, no.
Yeah.
Should we just have a little bit of stone just
They
for the
li-
staircases?
They literally just put like one or two steps in. Somebody fell. They're like, "Well, that's Brian done. Let's take this out."
Yeah. Let's abandon this idea. It was cool when we thought of it. Okay, so yeah, the staircase will not be just easily destroyed if we take that option, but
So then is it worth taking? If we can't actually destroy the staircase, we're just throwing ourselves into a very vulnerable position.
there's always the chance that defeating some of their mightier foes will lead the others to flee.
Are we going?
Beware.
Are we
We're
actually?
in the sky.
Are we going in all guns blazing here? Like, is this the plan?
No.
We're going in and just attacking the first thing we see? Because if so, then we should do that systematically, going room from room and take them out small number at a time, not into the middle of the courtyard and war crying and hoping everything runs at us bit at a time. Because if it doesn't, we're fucked.
People have said that to me a lot, and I've learned that it's true.
Yeah, I think Jove might have been rubbing off on me. You sound a lot like me about 2 months ago, so you're probably right.
I
No
think.
offense, Jove.
I think we go in the most
Oh, I've never rubbed up
least
against you.
in the least conspicuous way we can, without drawing any attention if we can. And if we do, then we have to act quickly and deal with threats swiftly there and then. Now,
I agree, but how do we get a kite full of people levitating, driven by a
A giant
massive
fucking
eagle, in stealthily?
Clovis clicks and minor illusions the light bulb above his head, and then he points at Hallie. And he points at
Jack looks at the
Hallie.
light bulb and goes, "What the hell
Wait,
is that?"
pointing at me?
why, hold on. You mentioned
just said?
before that
Dust.
but it's not just that. Your staff, can it take you elsewhere on this plane, or is it just to another plane? If it can take us
Anywhere
else,
I've been. Have I been here?
I mean, you are
Like,
here, technically.
So I can go within 500 feet of right here.
Pretty long way.
That's a very good suggestion. I mean, they might notice a giant ass tree, but I mean,
I mean, it's
How-
better, element of
how
they're going
surprise.
to notice a giant ass eagle.
How big?
Or,
A big,
tree.
it's 25 feet tall.
well, perhaps
I can
then
cover that.
You can cover that?
Oh,
What from?
I was going to suggest something that wasn't 15 feet tall, but perhaps something like a moth or a butterfly or a hummingbird. Because then at least you can see.
Sorry, I
where
thought
you're
we were
going.
talking about a tree. I'm sorry, I'm getting confused.
Oh,
What are we
sorry,
talking
you're talking
about?
about the tree. Sorry, I thought you were talking about your wild shape.
But
Never
would
mind.
we
No,
not? Would it not be easier if we really want the element of surprise, just without using spells
Yeah?
and burning ourselves out? Let's just transport ourselves into this lower courtyard and have at it, or the upper courtyard and have at it.
I think I could reach the upper
That's-
courtyard
that's
from
at
here.
the
Do I,
beginning.
like, know from where we were flying in? And, like, do I think it's within 500 feet?
Jove is literally stood in the corner with, nobody listens to me.
Damn it.
That's what I said.
So do I think it's within 500 feet, the upper courtyard?
You'd have to like get to the lowest bit of the lowest courtyard to maybe get there. You wouldn't be able to do it from here. You wouldn't
Oh.
even be able to like plant your staff here because of how
Yeah.
high the ceiling. You'd have to go
Yeah.
up and just.
Okay, so we still need to get up to the lower courtyard, and then I might be able to get us further with the tree.
What? No, you
If we
just have
can
to
make-
get
You're saying-
somewhere. You'd have to
To-
get.
to the-
You'd have to get somewhere where you can plant your bloody your staff.
Will I
That's
not
it.
be able to do it in the courtyard?
Well, yeah, but I thought the whole point was to get from outside the walls inside the walls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we could
Without-
climb up to the base of the lower tiers wall,
Okay.
remain on the outside of the thing because there's a little walkway around to get to the gate. Plant your
Okay.
staff there without going into the wall.
Okay.
Do your
Yeah.
thing, and then Bob's your uncle.
Banish your amp.
Fanny's your aunt. Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. Let's climb.
Good. Nothing could possibly go wrong at this point.
Okay.
It's
Alright.
Listen, it's better than a kite with an eagle with just like.
I like that
I
idea.
like it too.
Is it better?
Mike is gonna start setting start hammering in pittons then.
Clovis,
Yes.
flame thing. Make footholds if you can.
Oh, you won't need pittons to get to the thing. You just have to like do a bit of climbing with the aid of pittons.
Oh, okay.
You won't. It's not like a sheer face. It's like a
Oh,
That
a
okay.
was
crag
just the
up.
Right. Fair enough.
I will try and create some footholds as we go.
Okay.
Guess we're
Let's do
doing
this.
this.
You guys,
I'll be right behind you.
for the sake of brevity, you climb up to just outside the wall. Is there anything anybody wants to do before the staff is planted and you teleport inside?
I'm just gonna quickly roll my dice for my chaos thing.
Cosmic
Yeah.
Omen.
Alright, okay, yeah, I got evens. Alright, okay.
Any
Should
spells?
we-
Any spells anyone wants to cast or anything like that?
I will cast Bahamut's Blessing.
Yeah.
With my cane. I will do cold damage,
Okay.
and I will cast it on Hallie to give her immunity.
I already have immunity.
No, you
You
have
have
resistance.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry.
Now you have immunity.
Mhm.
You're welcome. I will cast it on Ash, and I will cast it on. I think Evans. Oh, sorry. I think Marcellus has had enough blessings for a day. I'll cast the other. I'll cast the other one on Jove.
Okay. And you get 10 temporary hit points?
10 temporary hit points, cold resistance.
Okay.
Anybody else want to cast anything or do anything before you
Do
go over the wall, so to speak?
we think pass without a trace should be if we're going to be stealthy, or we
You're
just gonna go in?
you're about to put a massive tree in the middle of the courtyard.
That's true. Okay.
Yeah, there's
Never
no
mind.
point.
Should we
Alright.
Sorry.
distribute our
Health potions.
health potions and helms?
Well,
Right.
we shall do that between this week and next, all the distributing. You guys
I'm just
Go
going
to
to my
the-
crimson right. That's it.
just make sure you remember it for next week because we're about to end the session. You
Yeah.
guys get to the side of the wall, bracing yourself for what is about to come. The fight of your lives and Faerun is about to kick off. Everything that you have done in this entire campaign has led you to this very moment. You guys brace yourselves as Hallie plants the staff in the ground and opens the portal through the tree into the lower courtyard of the castle.
Michael summons his sword, the golden blade of Bahamut.
Woo! And that is where we will end tonight's session on the precipice of the biggest fight of your lives. Thank you, everyone that's tuned in this evening. We love you very much. Please tune in next week because this is going to be bonkers. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.